Miley, what's your Fyre Fest of the week?
My Fyre Fest, I'm trying to make sure my nipples don't slip out so it doesn't mess up the YouTube. So quick.
Which one?
Yeah, I do have 4. I think these 2 at the bottom might be covered by the desk.
On today's part of my take, we have a twofer for the people. We have our good friend Julian Edelman, and then we have Coach Bruce Arians in person. He stopped by the office today. Great time with him. We're going to talk Thursday Night Football, the Jets being back. We're going to talk about the Los Angeles Dodgers being World Series champions as they clinched it on Wednesday night after the Yankees' epic meltdown. We have Week 9 picks and preview for every single game, and then Fyre Fest, maybe a little Freaky Friday Fyre Fest with some costumes if you're watching, and it's all brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. The roller coaster for the NFL season is moving right along, and it promises to be a month full of tricks, treats, and of course, touchdowns. And DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, is the number one place to bet touchdowns. Running it in from the 1 or an 80-yard bomb. We don't care how they score touchdowns. We want to bet on them. DraftKings heard us and is delivering. Ready to place your first bet? Try betting on something simple like a player to score a touchdown. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app and make your pick. Here's a reason for new customers to do a touchdown dance of their own. Bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with the DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets. When you bet just $5 only on DraftKings, the crown is yours. We'll have our touchdown parlay coming up later on in the week. Or later on the show. We're gonna hit it this week. So go right now to DraftKings Sportsbook, bet some touchdowns. Use code TAKE. New customers get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Use that code TAKE only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go. Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one place to bet touchdowns. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. For new customers, get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Friday, November 1st, and the New York Jets, try as they might, are back temporarily. They tried PFT to blow that game many different ways. They were doing the Deshaun Jackson. They were dropping balls before the end zone. They were down 7-0 at half. They were making just huge mistakes in special teams, giving the Texans first downs, and then somehow having it work their way, whereas a Kymie Fairbairn missed field goal from 27. But the Jets have won a game. The Jets are 3-6. I can't believe it. They're such a bad team, but they're 3-6, and someone in this room thinks they're all the way back.
I know they're all the way back. I think the Jets are going to win 3 straight right now. I think we're going to turn around, and the Jets are going to be 6-6. It's the cayenne water. I'm going to start having to put cayenne pepper in my water. I told you on Tuesday night when we were recording, I said I think I'm going to take the Jets, the dark uniforms, the color rush neon black uniforms. They're due. Everyone thought I was dumb. Well, maybe I was just dumb enough to be right.
I came around. I bet on them. I was just like, I put on my Bowser costume. I said the Jets are the pick. It made no sense. They shouldn't be favored over anyone. They're a torturous watch. Watch. Except for Garrett Wilson's incredible. That catch was incredible. The shin catch, the body control he had. He is so good. But yeah, everything else about the Jets is an absolute, like even how they started the game, where it was, I think the first play of the game was just, hey, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, those guys know each other. They live together. They can think on the same wavelength. Devontae Adams streaking down the sideline wide open, and Aaron Rodgers throws it like he basically hits the water cooler and then looks at Devontae Adams like he made the mistake.
That was an incredible catch.
It
was an incredible catch, though. One of the best catches of the year, if not the best catch of the year. I want to kick it over to our good friend Nick Fasoli. He's always doing his job here at Barstool Sports. He had an interesting comment about it. I thought maybe we could discuss. He said, this tops Odell's 100% best catch ever. Best catch ever. Prisoner of the moment. Maybe had a couple beers watching Thursday Night Football, or is this an accurate take by our good friend Fasoli?
It was a pretty incredible catch. We've talked about it a million times, but like the one thing, NFL players are so good at so many different things. They're so fast, they're so strong, they're so skilled, but the body control, like that, for Garrett Wilson's whole momentum to go backwards in that moment and be able to get a body part down. You could try to do that 100 times in the end zone, and you would probably break every bone in your body trying to do it, and you'd never accomplish it. That was just, it's so it's so insane what NFL players are able to do. And yes, that catch, maybe not best ever, but it was pretty goddamn good.
It was a pretty good catch. And yeah, it would go like your toes break, then your foot breaks, then your ankle breaks, then your shin breaks, then your knee breaks. And I don't know how NFL players do this from time to time, but how does the shin even hit the ground before the knee hits? I look down at my shin and my knee, and I think to myself, like, I would dislocate everything from my waist down if I could get my shin down before my knee. It doesn't even seem possible. But yeah, it was a great catch. I have a question for you guys, though, about, we saw the Deshaun Jackson play. Deshaun Jackson did this like 3 times, and nobody had ever done it before Deshaun. And then after Deshaun, people do it left and right. Why? Was it watching Deshaun do it, and they're like, oh, this is a thing now? What happened?
It happens like once or twice a year, pretty regularly. Me, if I were in the NFL, I would run all the way to the back of the end zone every time. There would be no chance I would give that ball up early. I think the coolness factor of being like, man, I scored so easy. Look at me drop the ball right away. But it's insane that it ever happens.
It's crazy.
It's truly insane that it ever happens.
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm with you, Big Cat. I would hand the ball to the official like I've been there before.
Yep. I'd run into the tunnel. Memes. Go ahead. This is the first happy memes we've had, I think, in a month and a half.
Yeah, it's been a very long time. They should give Garrett Wilson all the money. I think he's the greatest player of all time.
Okay.
But the first half was one of the worst first halves of all time.
Yeah.
This is also the worst coach football team of all time.
Oh, that's a lot of all times. That was
There's
3
so
all
many
times.
all times.
Okay.
But they don't even really have a coach. That's the concerning part about it.
Yeah, you can't say it's the worst football coach team of all time. They fired their coach.
They fired the coach, but you still have an interim coach.
I understand, but that's like, it's not Jeff Ulbricht's fault. He wasn't the coach. They decided to fire the coach 4 weeks into the season.
No, the Jeff Ulbrich is the meme where it's just like, I got too important at my job, and now it's ruining my life. Like, he should just be the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, that meme.
We all know
that meme. Everybody knows that one.
Thanks for speaking internet to us. Okay, keep going.
The principle where you just, in your job, you get promoted until the point where you reach incompetence. That's the corporate world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're still very poorly coached.
Yeah. Yeah, you fired your coach. You don't have a head coach.
But we do have a coach.
No.
I understand.
I don't think that you do.
You don't.
Jeff is our coach. Coach Brick is our coach.
Right.
So you still have to.
You
coach
said
your
it
guys.
yourself. He shouldn't be the coach. You don't have a coach.
The fact that you refer to him by his first name
this is his
tells me
opportunity.
everything I need to hear. You're talking about him like he's your stepdad. Jeff's our coach.
Yeah, Jeff.
Jeff's our guy right now.
Jeff's
and you
a
need
dick.
to coach the players to take the ball and run over the goal line with it. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Do you put that on coaching? I don't know if I put that on coaching.
I bet you Belichick tells his guys to cross the fucking goal line.
Yeah, what does the Belichick say? The whole franchise in your hands? Yeah, no, I could that's under coaching for me because it's lazy football. It's little like the minor details. It's the same thing as the penalty they had on the field goal. Like, the one thing you can't do is just run over the center, the long snapper, and that's exactly what
Need
they
him in
did.
the head.
They,
Yeah, you're right.
kill him.
It is coaching. That's just the.
But they don't have a
they don't
coach. They fired their
we do
coach.
have a coach.
But congratulations, memes. I know you needed this, and it was good to see a win for you guys. Now, on the other hand, the Houston Texans, they're very banged up. They're missing some wide receivers, some weapons. C.J. Stroud doesn't look like himself.
No. Their offensive line is bad, and they don't have weapons. And C.J. Stroud, maybe sophomore slump, you want to call it? I don't know. It's just 11 for 30, 191 yards. And you could say, I don't think C.J. Stroud's bad. Guys aren't getting open. He's got no time. But their offense has not looked good for the majority of the year. You know what I mean? Like it's been a lot of ugly football, and it feels like they are a team that, unless Joe Mixon is doing everything, they're never ahead on the downs. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like they're sitting there with a lot of like second and twos and the playbook's open. It's just a lot of like 3rd and 8s and CJ Stroud running for his life. And yeah, he's getting his ass kicked. His offensive line isn't holding up. He's getting his ass kicked every single game.
CJ Stroud, he's still a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He still makes some incredible throws, and I think he'll be fine. If this is his sophomore slump, this is a pretty good sophomore slump to have.
They're 6-3. Memes. Real quick.
I also have a theory about that.
What'd you say?
I have a theory about that.
Okay, go ahead.
So it was a Freaky Friday situation. Broncos, week 4, Jets came in. Zach Wilson dapped up Aaron Rodgers. We got all that bad energy. Today, we sent all the bad energy to the Texans.
Okay, so now CJ Stroud is Zach Wilson.
So now it's over there, and now we're back. Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
Who is Zach Wilson now?
That'd be CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud.
Got it.
Memes. Real quick. 3-6. At Cardinals. Home against the Colts. Home against the Seahawks. Do the Jets get to 500 before the stretch run last 5 weeks of the season?
Gotta beat the Cardinals.
Yep.
Okay.
Gotta beat the Cardinals.
I feel that.
Aaron Rodgers said the run the table thing to Al Michaels in the pregame production meeting, though.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel like if you're not 6-6 going down the stretch run, it's you have to win every. I mean, like 6-6, then you get in a spot where you're like, okay, all right, if we go 4-5 down here, we can still lose a game. But if you're sitting there, if you only win 1 or 2 of the next 3, we're not even going to entertain this.
Yeah, no. I'm excited about this current second half, but in reality, I know that we're in a deep dark hole.
Okay. But listen, darkness. Aaron Rodgers has been there.
The darkness, memes.
Embrace the darkness.
Yeah.
But I think we're in a good spot. Bad energy, Texans, Jets, back.
You won a game, and you've put yourself in a position where if everything crazy happens to you, then you can be back at 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got this. You got this, memes.
Do you believe this, meme? You don't believe this.
What?
No, I think he's just excited that they won a game.
Yeah.
Which you should be.
I'm very excited. We beat the Texans. They are a playoff team right now.
Yeah, and this is it's nice to win a Thursday. Now you get a full weekend where you don't have to think about having to be in another must-win situation. You get a little break, mental break, and then you'll be back at it next week.
Yeah, right back. They also just have to stop putting us on primetime.
Yeah, well, I think you guys still have
we have the Colts on Sunday Night Football.
What?
Flex?
Yeah, damn. Flex it. Colts on Sunday Night Football.
Flacco.
Joe Flacco.
And then
Joe
we might have
Flacco.
one at the end of the year.
Yeah, I don't see one at the end of the year right now. But I'm sure they'll find a way to put you in another one. All right. We should congratulate the Los Angeles Dodgers on the World Series because they have won the World Series. Congrats to the Los Angeles Dodgers. They were the best team in baseball this year. They've been the best team in baseball for basically a decade. I I want to talk about the Yankees, but I want to give the Dodgers their full hat tip first. The Dodgers are. Is it weird that even though they spent all this money and they're all in every single year, I weirdly am happy for the Dodgers because they have been the best team in baseball for the Astros obviously have a case, but the Dodgers have been in the playoffs for like something like 12, 13 years in a row. They've won over 100 games a bunch of times. They won the COVID World Series, which I think we joke about the bubble and stuff. That's the only one where it's like they did play a significantly less games. Like the NBA still tried to play most of their games. The NFL played all their games. Baseball, they played 60 games, right? So that was the one that was like a little weird. So this one kind of affirms like, hey, this is like great job. You guys did it. All the times that you've won 100 games have been bounced in the first round. Baseball playoffs are so random. It's really just such a crapshoot. Who could be the hottest team? So I'm weirdly happy for the Dodgers, and I'm happy for Shohei. I'm happy for Walker Buehler, who had a tough year, and then he was just absolute nails in the playoffs. Got his first career save in the World Series clincher. Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts is a stud, and the Dodgers did it by just being the better team and being the fundamentally better team. Because like if you look at it, like average in the series was pretty much the same. Home runs the same, runs the same. The Dodgers just don't make mistakes like the Yankees made mistakes, and that showed 100% in Game 5 when the Yankees had a complete and utter meltdown, of which I don't think I've seen anything like that. Where it was. I mean, I've seen things like that, but like the bang, 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 where it was Aaron Judge missing just an absolute can of corn. The error at third base, and then Garrett Cole refusing to cover first base, all happening in rapid succession. 5 unearned runs. Garrett Cole had a no-hitter going into the 5th inning, and they leave the 5th inning with no unearned runs, and it's 5-5. That was insane. Absolutely insane.
Well, yeah, I mean, going back to the Dodgers real quick, though, Freddie Freeman, what he's done in this postseason, especially in the World Series, is absolutely incredible. And going back to even when he was with Atlanta, like he is one of the best World Series batters of all time. You can look at the stats, put him up against anybody, and what he did in the World Series, and he had other deep shots that were hit off the wall. He had hard hit balls that were caught. Like that dude could not miss this entire World Series. It was cool to watch. I am happy for Shohei as well. He obviously seemed like he was pretty banged up in the World Series after that slide in second base. But he was out there. The other guys were happy for him, but he was like a shell of himself at the plate. But that 5th inning, yes, you're right. That 5th inning that the Yankees had, absolutely incredible. As somebody that does not consider themselves to be a Yankees fan, and I think I speak for most of America when I say that, that was an incredible piece of theater. Incredible performance art that they put on in that inning. It was one right after the throw to third base. He probably should have gone to second on that one to begin with, but then the throw was low to third base. It was like 2 errors in one. And and on top of everything that happened in that inning, for Garrett Cole to go out there the next inning and lock the fuck in after it all went to shit in the 5th was actually very, very impressive on Garrett Cole's part. I don't know if that was him being like, I probably should have covered first base. Now I have to go out there and make up for it and just get absolutely lights out on him. But whatever he did to lock in, he should get some credit for that.
But it's just an all-time screen grab now too. It's what 5-0, and Anthony Rizzo is picking up a ground ball, and Garrett Cole has a path to beat Mookie Betts to the bag. Like that picture, and then the next thing that happens is 5-5. It was, and I know people were blaming Garrett Cole, and he should get blamed for not covering first base. That's like day one fundamentals. But in his semi-defense, that inning should have been over way before that because Aaron Judge dropped like that. I don't even know what happened with that ball that Aaron Judge dropped.
They got 6 outs in that inning.
It's crazy. It was
nuts. And so, with the Garrett Cole not covering first base thing, yes, it's on Garrett Cole. I also think Rizzo probably could have tried to run to first base.
I think that ball had some weird spin on it, and I think he was like trying to field it cleanly, and that's just. I mean, Max, you're a baseball expert. You know baseball. Like, That they do that day one of spring training, though. The pitcher covers first base there.
They do that day one of spring training of Little League. Like that is the most fundamental play of baseball that he just had an absolute brain fart. Like there's nothing else to it.
Yeah. And it's just maybe Rizzo could have been quicker to the ball, but I still think Rizzo thinks 100 times out of 100 a ball hit to his side, like Garrett Cole's going to go cover the bag for him.
I think it's something you have to make the decision on, like as the ball is going. Like he wasn't thinking he had to get there, so he didn't.
Yeah.
If he off the bat, if he was like I'm the only person that can get to first, like he probably could have, but he just wasn't.
It was just
wasn't thinking that.
But that's just
it's automatic.
If there's a ground ball to the right side, you automatically like it's the first instinct is run to first, like no matter what.
No, I'm saying Rizzo. Yeah, I'm saying Rizzo.
Oh yeah.
Like if Rizzo right away was like I'm going to first, but he just assumed Garrett Cole's gonna be there.
If Garrett Cole had screamed like I'm not going to first, maybe Rizzo could have gotten it. But like, why would you ever assume he wasn't?
Is who he is. But
you're like
he's not going to be the fastest guy, the most explosive athlete ever to field that and run to first base. And I think he was a little surprised not to see Cole there. And then he just pulled up too. And then everyone was just standing around like, well, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. And it's insult to injury. I don't know if you guys saw, there was a story in the New York Post that I'm just going to read this real quick. It's the Dodgers scouting report. What the Dodgers told their players in scouting meetings was the Yankees were talent over fundamentals, that if you run the bases with purpose and aggression, the Yankees will self-inflict harm, as was exposed by Betts, Tommy Edman, Freddie Freeman, etc., that the value was very high to put the ball in play to make the Yankees execute. They mentioned that the Yankees were not just the major's worst base running team by every metric, but the difference was vast on the field between them and the Padres, who the Dodgers beat in the NL Division Series.
Was Max just flossing on camera and showing the camera the floss like an up close?
He might have just been flossing.
I have ADD. I do like different stupid shit.
But
I may have been flossing. But that's got to be such insult to injury that the Dodgers before the series were like, hey, just so you guys know, if you just try a little bit harder on every single play, the Dodgers got a scouting report that was like the Yankees are a softball team.
Yeah.
They're like, all you got to do is put the ball in play and run hard and they'll fuck up. And that's what happened.
Put pressure on them and they're going to fold under pressure. And then
it wasn't even pressure. That's the craziest part. It wasn't even like there was that much pressure.
Make them play baseball.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then
crazy.
Right afterwards, so I thought it was interesting that they talked to Soto right after the game was over. And they were like, so what do you think about next year? And under most circumstances, I think a player would say, I really enjoyed my time with the Yankees. Great group of guys. Sorry that we couldn't get it done. And we'll just have to let the process play out. But then Soto was like, yeah, I'm going to talk to every team in the league that wants to talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah, he basically proved that getting Soto for a year. Now, obviously, if the Yankees won the World Series, it's worth it, but it does not do them any favors in free agency. Soto's not going to be like, oh, well, I know where Yankee Stadium is, and I'm comfortable here. He's just give him the most money, and he'll be there. Anyone who's rooting for a team has money. Someone said the Blue Jays. That would kind of.
I don't know if that would work.
He's already said that there's zero. He has zero emotion to any team. It's literally just a blank check.
I love it.
It goes to the highest bidder. That's what
I love that.
Obviously, the Mets are going to be involved. Obviously, teams like probably the Rangers might get involved too. Yankees are going to make an offer. Dodgers maybe. I don't know what if they'd be willing to pay him as much money as he's going to need. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the Nationals were involved to get him back too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why not? If they have the money, he's a Boris guy, right? Scott Boris had to just be pumping his fist when Soto said that. Yeah. Just not even a little bit of like, I love the guys in this clubhouse. It's going to take me a couple days to get my head right. It's like highest bidder, get it ready. Did you guys see the fireworks in LA? That was pretty cool.
I saw the guy blow his hand off.
Oh, I did not see that. That was cool.
On the For You page of X.com, X the Everything app. I opened it up today, and it was just this dude setting off a firecracker in the middle of the street, blows his hand off, and then he runs to the sidewalk, dripping blood everywhere. It was a wonderful way to start my morning.
Did he have a Dodger
He's
cap
a big
on?
Dodgers guy, yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, at least he's got a win.
Yeah.
I mean, the LA. I know Hank loves LA. He wants us to move to LA. I have no affinity towards LA other than they did get a little screwed in the winning their championships during COVID. And this one feels like I know obviously the Rams, but this feels like the first one and they deserve that, cause imagine flags fly forever, all that shit. But like you win a COVID championship, you don't get to go to the games. You don't, there's no parade. Like this is the first true one. And like I said, the Dodgers have been the best team in baseball for Astro fans are still going to get mad at me. The best team in terms of like consistently being in the playoffs and winning, 100 games for 12, 13 years. And so they deserve one. I know people will say they spent the most money. They did. They went all in. The Dodgers are the new Yankees. That was a big thing. Like the Dodgers already had a super team, and they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to add Shohei Ohtani. That's what the Yankees used to do.
Yeah.
So like that's the Dodgers are the new Yankees, and they played fundamental ball better than anyone else. They were the best team by far.
Yeah, you know how you say that Cavs fans and Browns fans are different people, even though they are probably the same people, but you think of them in different ways. That's exactly how I think of Dodgers fans and Lakers fans. Yeah,
I agree.
Dodgers fans to me, they seem like a real, like actual localized fan base. And I kind of root for Dodgers fans in that sense, in a way that's completely different from how I feel about the Lakers. But I guess you could say they're the new Yankees, but I don't think that they've had enough success to really reach that point of like entitlement that Yankees fans sometimes get.
I'm not saying they're the new Yankees in terms of like what they've done winning wise. I'm saying they're the new Yankees in the fact that like the Yankees used to, be the best team, then they would still be like, let's go get the best player in free agency. Like the Dodgers were a great team, and they're like, yeah, let's fucking add Shohei, and like you just said Soto. Like I don't think the Dodgers will sign Soto. But if they did, I wouldn't. It would just be like, yeah, I guess that's what they do. Yeah. They just keep spending the most amount of money.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I think that it's probably going to be the Mets. But again, whoever has the biggest check, that's it.
Yeah, it's sad knowing that, like, Tom Ricketts has the money, and it's just I'm not even going to even pretend to get my hopes up. Like I've sent like 2 like low effort tweets. Being like Juan Soto, come to the Cubs. That's how that's what it sounds like in my head when I'm tweeting it, because I just know it's not even a chance
have to do it.
And it's just because I just like maybe he sees it and he's like, oh shit, I didn't even think maybe I should call the Cubs.
Yeah,
you never know.
He's so fun.
See something, say
he's so
something.
Fun to root for.
Yeah. All right. Anything else before we get to ourselves? We got, by the way, Bob Does Sports. Our collab with them was out Tuesday. Go watch it. We have our vlog from after Commanders Bears, and then today, episode 1 of the Pardon My Take doc. So a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. I haven't seen the doc yet, but we were part of filming the doc. They interviewed us, and I think it's going to be really good. I trust Hank.
Yeah. Four episodes. This is episode 1. Episode 2 will be in a couple weeks, all about BVT. I think that's it. So we'll kick it to ourselves back in studio, talk some football.
If you're in Connecticut or the New York area, come out to see Pup Punk tonight. We're playing at Toad's Place. Awesome venue. Me, Roan, Robbie, Frankie, Nick, Caroline, and Robbie's brother. It's going to be a great time. And I just added $500 to the costume contest. So I think winner gets $1,000. Come out and see us. Fun time.
Hell yes. All right, let's kick it to ourselves. Okay, before we get to the weekend preview, we are brought to you by our friends at Game Time. Football season is here, and we can't wait to get out to some games this fall with the help of Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know how much we love Game Time. Now with their brand new Game Time Picks feature, they're making it even easier to get to a game. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. We're looking at Commanders Giants on Sunday, PFT.
Yeah,
what do we got?
NFC Beast Tilt.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a Game Time. There's a super deal for $150. But you can get in for $44.
$44
at MetLife, yeah.
So there you go. Just pull up your chosen event, turn on the GT Picks setting at the top of the screen, or browse the best local Game Time Picks deal near you on your Game Time app homepage. What are you waiting for? We're going to buy those tickets to Commanders Giants on the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app today. Use code PMT to easily score great deals with new Game Time picks. What time is it? Game time. We're also brought to you by our friends at Chevy. There's a reason we've never done a Mount Rushmore of pickup trucks, and that's because, for pardon my take, there's only one pickup truck, the Chevy Silverado. Why is that? Silverado's a partner you can depend on. We've all spent time driving and using the Silverado for all kinds of, pardon my take, jobs, adventures, and other shenanigans. Silverado's been our ride for a cross-country trip to the Super Bowl. Silverado helped us dig the biggest hole ever in the state of Ohio last year at Grit Week. Silverado helped us give fullbacks the recognition they deserve with the Low Man Award. And this year, Silverado was out west with us for our latest Grit Week. Silverado brings the grit to legendary grit paired with modern truck tech inside and out. Massive screens, up to 8 cameras with 14 different views to help make driving, towing, and parking all easier. We love the bold blacked out look of the new Silverado HD Trail Boss. So head on over to Chevy.com to build your own Silverado or Silverado HD and check out all the current offers on Silverado. Discover a world of strength and capability, all behind the wheel of our favorite truck, the Chevy Silverado. Okay, boys, week 9. At the end of this week, we'll be at the halfway point of the NFL season. What was that face, Hank? Week 9.
I just don't like it when you give me updates on these because it starts usually like week 5 after we've gotten through the first quarter of the season, and I would prefer just not to know.
Yeah.
I prefer to just bury my head in the sand and be ignorant about it.
Listen, week 9, we're almost at halftime. I have before we get into the games, I really wish the NFL would link up moving our clocks with week 9. Instead, the clocks are being moved next week, week 10. Why wouldn't they just do it at the halfway point? It feels like it would just make most sense.
The NFL needs to come in and do their own version of savings time. Like, we go by the NFL clock, and we go by the NFL league year now, where
right.
The start of the new year is in March at some point.
Yeah.
I like how the trade deadline is on Election Day.
Yeah.
This year, we need to do everything according to the NFL league rules. So
yeah.
I feel like if they want to decide maybe after the trade deadline, move the clocks forward.
I just wish it was this weekend. It's next weekend, and it's stupid.
It is stupid because, like, okay, we got baseball this week, and you know, I remember sometimes there would be daylight savings in the middle of the World Series.
Yeah.
But fortunately, they moved that back to that first week of November.
It would also suck too, like if it's like you're going out on Halloween and then the next day you're losing time, like that would just be insult to injury.
All right, so they did pick a good week then. You're right. Week 10 next week. Move the clocks. All right, week 9. We have a full slate, only 2 buys. Let's just dive into the games. I think there's some exciting games this weekend.
We got some good ones.
We got some really good ones.
You know which one I'm most excited for?
What?
Broncos and Ravens.
All right, let's start there.
I'm excited about that one because Bo Nix has been actually good recently, and their defense is legitimate top 5 defense. Mm-hmm. And the Ravens, if the Ravens had won last week, I would feel very strongly about believing them this week, but the fact that they lost last week tells me they're not going to take it lightly. But it's the most yards per play in the Ravens offense against the least yards per play given up in the Broncos defense.
I think this is the Ravens.
Okay.
I think it's trick yourself into thinking the Broncos, which they're not bad. Mm-hmm. It's no knock on the Broncos, but the Ravens off a loss, kind of a focused effort. Just signed Deontay Johnson, which is, I mean, was that not a genius trade?
Yeah.
Like
Deontay Johnson's good,
and he also doesn't have to be the number 1 receiver.
And if you're Deontay Johnson, it's a great trade.
Yeah,
you're more pumped than anybody.
Your life just got so much better.
He got traded twice in the span of 8 months.
Yeah,
and the Panthers gave up Dante Jackson for Deontay Johnson, and they got they also gave up, I think, a 6th and a 7th, and now they got back a 5th from Baltimore. So they gave up a player and a 6th and a 7th and got back a 5th round pick. I guess good for the Panthers. I guess that's an asset.
Yeah.
You have to move on from your good players if you're in a position like they are. But yeah, if you're Deontay, this is nice. This is really good.
Real nice. I think the Broncos are good. I think the Broncos have also played maybe the 3 worst teams in the NFL right now in the last 3 weeks, the Raiders, Saints, Panthers.
Yeah, but as we discussed, there's a lot of ass out there.
There is a lot of ass.
This is ass season.
There's a lot of ass. I just think the Ravens are a little, and again, it's off a loss where it's like a game they could have won, and the Ravens are going to be very focused. Broncos riding high, and you see that 9-point spread, and you're like, oof. That's easy.
It's a lot of points.
Broncos are 5-3. How are they 9-point underdogs?
Yeah, it's a lot of points. And yeah, I agree with you. Like I said, if the Ravens had won last week, I would probably be leaning heavy to the Broncos. But I'm excited to watch the game.
Oh,
anyways,
yeah, definitely.
We're going to learn a lot about the Broncos.
I have a stat from Sports Info Solutions. The Broncos are probably going to try. So they're going to try to blitz Lamar because they bring 5 rushers more than anyone. But the Ravens have the second best success rate against 5 or more pass rushers this year. So Lamar, I mean, if you blitz him, you're going to get fucked.
That's another thing where if you're Lamar and you get the house sent at you and you avoid the sack, even if they get into the backfield and you somehow avoid it and either take off with your feet or hit somebody downfield, that's got to be the most demoralizing thing as either an actual defense or as a fan of that team that just blitzed the house. And then he easily avoided your blitz and exploited it. You're like, well, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah, we're out of options. Okay, next game that I'm also excited for, very excited for, Dolphins at Bills. Because now I don't want to say that something looks easy, but the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen own the Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
The Dolphins are 2-12 against the Bills when Josh Allen's been the quarterback, and they're 0-7 in Buffalo. The Bills are the Dolphins' boogeyman, and Josh Allen specifically. And it's crazy. We touched on it on Monday, but like the Bills have just fucking dudes now. Like Keon Coleman is becoming a dude. I loved his quote. Did you see? He said, "When you ain't getting the ball, I'm going to hit somebody. It's been fun for me." I love that. He seems like one of those guys. It's just a refreshing, like a fresh breath of air, and the fact that he just loves playing football, loves doing his job, loves hitting guys. Shakir's awesome. There's some crazy stats out there about Shakir and Josh Allen. Like they just every time he throws it to him, it's a catch.
Yeah.
Kincaid, James Cook, and the Dolphins. Mac Hollins. The Dolphins. When they have to go, I don't even know what the weather's going to be like in Buffalo. When they have to go anywhere that's not Miami, I'm just like, no, they can't do it.
Do you know when the last time the Dolphins beat the Bills in Buffalo was?
Well, I know it's at least 0-7. So
it was 2016.
Yeah,
and the quarterback was Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
that's the last time that's happened.
They've never beaten Josh Allen in Buffalo.
And since Josh Allen's been the quarterback of the Bills, the cumulative score is 460 to 269. Just an ass kicking.
Ass kicking. All right, I'm looking at the weather. Daily forecast. It's going to be nice. Little rain, but still 57 degrees. That's too cold for the Dolphins.
It's very, very cold for them.
Yeah. And Tua, I'm happy Tua's back. I don't think they're winning this game.
I think it's going to be a fun game. I think that the Bills at least
they do score a lot of points when they play each other.
Yeah, and at least
at least
the Dolphins' offense looks fun. And Josh Allen, I think Josh Allen's going to have a big day with his feet too.
Yeah,
I think he's going to take off. He's going to run some people over. Josh Allen touchdown this weekend.
Memes. If the Bills lose this game, we've already talked about the Jets Texans, but let's say the Jets win. Are you thinking, wow, we might be back in this because it's 6-3 and the Bills and the Jets would be 3-6,
and we won.
Yeah.
Did you guys win?
We're taping this in the morning. Did you guys win?
I don't think so.
Oh, so this would be bad if you won, and then you're like, I knew we were going to win.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing I know about memes. By the time kickoff rolls around, you're going to be like, we're going to win.
Playoffs, Super Bowl.
Well, when Bruce Arians, we're going to get to him, when he was talking about being a 6 seed, I said to Max, I was like, I'm back.
Yeah. Yeah, all you just need a chip in a chair.
Yeah.
The Dolphins, I feel like they did the thing where they would blitz a lot and then just get abused by Kyler Murray last week.
Yeah.
And that's going to be Josh Allen this week.
Yeah, their defense failed them in the second half. The Dolphins, they're 27th in defensive DVOA. All right, next game, Cowboys and Falcons. Another one I'm very excited for.
Another must-win for Dallas.
This is a must-win for Dallas.
These are just games.
No, but we're doing the ones that we're most excited for. What are you talking about?
Hank, you're not excited about Cowboys Falcons?
Why not?
Well, Hank doesn't like football.
Yeah, you don't like football.
You like winning.
You're an anti-football pussy.
Tell me why. How about this, Hank? We'll turn the tables. Tell me why we shouldn't be excited about this game.
Because the Cowboys stink and the Falcons are. It's just not like it doesn't jump off the screen. Like it's not like.
Oh, I think this one jumps.
Obviously football guys and football guys. love every game, but no casual fan is like, oh shit.
All right, this one doesn't jump off the screen.
Falcons, Cowboys, let me get to my couch.
All right, jump off the screen, maybe not the right term, but I would say this game stands out.
Yeah. It's the Cowboys
game.
playing
It's
for their
definitely a game,
season.
yeah.
I think Bijan's going to have a huge game. I think Kyle Pitts is going to have a huge game. We had Trayvon Diggs make up with the reporter, which was nice. Feels good that we can respect journalism again.
Yeah, he should let the reporter bofa him.
Yeah, he should. Yeah, just be like, I'm going to bow for you at some point. You have to answer all my questions. It has to be natural.
Yeah. At their meeting, I wish the reporter had said, it smells like up dog in here. Just like a little prank. Just get him back. The D's nuts for the up dog.
The up dog.
Yeah.
What's up, dog?
Not much. What's up with you?
I have some stats for you to get you excited. Here, all right, here's something to be excited about. Kyle Pitts. Bet him this week. Cowboys run the second most one high shell looks in the league. Kyle Pitts, 6th most yards per route versus single high safety. Kyle Pitts. And also Zeke is completely washed, by the way. Zeke is completely washed. He's the only running back with 30 carries who has yet to break or miss a tackle, according to Sports Info Solutions.
He's yet to break a tackle?
Break or miss a tackle.
That's a pretty key thing about being a running back. But if you're worried about getting old at the running back position, don't worry because Dalvin Cook's playing.
Yeah. The Cowboys are so sad. And it's also just, it's Dak and CD. They have to do everything.
I'm just rooting for something to happen in both the Ravens and the Cowboys game where we get to just tie into the fact that Jerry Jones passed on going after Derrick Henry again.
Yeah.
I want updates on that every single week. And Jerry Jones keeps talking about it too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He keeps like being like, it's not bothering me.
He's like, that guy's so good, but couldn't get him.
Couldn't work. I think this is just going to be a fun over game too. The Falcons can't rush the passer, and Dak is up and down. He's been like, if he's got a clean pocket, I think this is going to be points.
Yeah. Did you know that Dallas? I think that they in the third quarter they can't score points.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on with Mike McCarthy at halftime, he maybe needs to switch over play calling again at halftime and give that up because they got crushed 21-0 last week in the third quarter. Now they've been outscored 61-19 in all third quarters.
Do you think he's eating at halftime?
He
Probably
maybe
taking a snack.
Maybe he needs to.
Did you see that? I don't know. It was like maybe 2 weeks ago. Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, was explaining. There was a reporter who asked about halftime, and he was like, "You guys don't realize that like I maybe have 90 seconds with the team at halftime."
Yeah,
he's like, by the time I get all the way down, talk to our coaches, then have like a minute to talk to our players. He's like, I hit like 2 things. He's like, there's no such thing as a halftime adjustment. The adjustments are happening throughout the game.
And also maybe your individual position group coach was talking to you about.
But he was like, I'm adjusting after every series.
Well,
it's not like a halftime adjustment. This is a whole new game.
Maybe Mike McCarthy needs to go back to the well of tricks, smash a watermelon at halftime.
Oh, that brings up bad memories for me. He smashed that watermelon. I was in that Survivor where I think it was for the Pro Football Show. I was like 13-0, and I didn't know it was a watermelon game.
Yeah, maybe save some of these awesome stunts for halftime instead of for a pregame meeting on a Sunday or a Saturday.
Was that Cooper Rush? I believe. I think he smashed a watermelon for Cooper Rush.
On the Cooper Rush game?
Because it was Vikings. They beat the Vikings.
I don't remember. I don't remember who the quarterback was.
Yeah, I think it was Cooper Rush.
Smash the quarterback at halftime, Mike.
Smash Cooper Rush's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will work. All right, Hank, you want the honesty? Raiders and Bengals, I'm not very excited for. There you go.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm going to predict something. I think Memes has this game circled.
Because of Macaulay Culkin?
Because Macaulay Culkin getting dressed up as Joe Burrow for Halloween. If you've seen the pictures, Adam Schefter tweeted out, and then he was like, look at this, dressed up as Joe Burrow. It's such a bad representation, such a bad vibe for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Because the picture, especially the one where he's like laying down on his helmet or the ball or whatever, that Memes can't wait for like the first interception, first bad play that Joe Burrow has to tweet out that picture of Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Memes?
Yeah, but you can't trash our friends.
True.
I don't think I thought the same thing when I saw the picture and I was like, Joe Burrow's got to be rolling his eyes. But it's also, at this point, everything's a meme anyway. It's not like there's no memes of Joe Burrow when he loses. This is just something for the Arsenal, just like there's something for everyone in the Arsenal. And I'm sure Joe Burrow has probably laughed at the fact that like it's Macaulay Culkin and he's dressed as me.
Right.
Like I watch all of his movies as a kid, and this is just it's a very funny.
It's
picture.
funny.
It is
like,
funny.
It's not. it will be used against him, but I don't think it's one where he's like, if he loses and he sees it, he's gonna be like, oh, what the fuck? Like that's just the easiest.
He's
easiest
expecting
meme
it.
that will come.
He's got to expect it at this point. But yeah, when I saw that, I just knew that memes has added that to the file. That got bookmarked instantly.
I want to believe in the Bengals. They are testing my faith in the Bengals. I think Bengals fans even agree. They're like, this is when I do my power rankings on Tuesday. There were a lot of Bengals fans like, just put us in full ass.
Yeah,
because it's just they played Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones, and then after that. I mean, I guess they're playing Gardner Minshew, so they should look good this week. Higgins needs to play.
They could look good, and the defense, I feel like it's going to be a Brock game. For
Brock
the Raiders.
Powers?
Yeah.
Bengals have to win. Every game is a must win.
Yeah.
And if they lose this game, then it would be like, we got to win 8 out of the last 9.
Mm-hmm.
And if they lose that game, they got to win 8 out of the last 8. If they lose that game, they got to win 8 out of the last 7.
I think they have to run the table now.
They're just going to keep – the Bengals are going to be in week 17, and they're going to be like 6-10. And they're like, if we just win 5 out of our last 1, we'll be a playoff team.
Yeah, Zach Taylor right now is the coach that is spending the most time on the playoff machine.
Yeah.
All the combinations.
So, Hank, were you happy that I said that? That I admitted that there was one game – here's another game I'm not excited for, Patriots-Titans.
Disagree.
Oh. Is Drake May playing?
Maybe.
If Drake May plays, I'll up my excitement level a skosh because he would make it a more exciting game. If it's Jacoby Brissett versus Mason Rudolph, that's a tough one.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
We're also, by law, have to bet the Patriots because we've said it before, teams after facing the Lions are 0-6 against the spread and straight up. I don't have an actual opinion on this game other than that stat. I will probably not even look at this game. I will just hope that this stat continues, and we're sitting here on Sunday night, and we're like, teams that have played the Lions are 0-7 straight up and against the spread after playing the Lions.
You know what that sounds like?
What?
An under.
Oh.
Okay.
If you're not going to watch it, you don't want to see
Well, it's going to be
updates.
on. I'm going to watch it.
No, I know, but like
Yeah.
in a best case scenario, you don't even have to worry about it
Yeah.
because it's like 13-9.
The Titans' defense is still good. This is why I can't quit
And the Patriots
Titans.
can't catch.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who's throwing
The
it.
Titans' defense is good in theory, but at this point in the season, after they've been through all this shit, they know that they're just in tank mode right now. I don't know if it's a lot to ask the Titans defense to keep playing at that level for the entire season.
They didn't even play that bad against the Lions. The Lions scored 52. I know that's crazy to say.
Well, they didn't play that bad against the Lions because they
played
had
great.
They had
Every short field.
They had short fields.
Yeah, right.
So who knows if they would have played good against the Lions if they had,
True.
like 50 more yards on defense.
The Lions should have done the respectable thing and just taken from the 20 every time.
Yeah.
They play a gentleman's game.
Dan Campbell, there's no honor in Dan Campbell this
Yeah.
season. He's just going to go for your jugular every single time. He's going to overkill you.
Yeah.
He's the king of overkill right now. Bad offensive teams in terms of throwing the ball. I think the two worst for yards per game, the Patriots and the Titans. And Hank, there's a lot going on this week for the Patriots. According to Josina Anderson, she said that New England might be towing the line between buyer and seller.
What?
At the trade deadline. In what world do you think that the Patriots become buyers? What is that if you're you middleman? You wholesaler?
I mean, this is just speculation, and I don't know that this is really how pro sports work, but there's a possible world where Kraft and the Crafts watched last game and watched our receivers drop 20 balls and are like, we need to get a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, even though they know they're bad.
But they
were like, if we had just like they had like 7 drops last week that were just off the hands.
Yeah.
Really, really bad.
They're going to work on
so
it.
they know that they have to improve receiver.
Wasn't there a rumor Jordan Addison?
Yeah.
That made no sense.
Yeah, so I guess they have
The
to look
Vikings.
at have to look at who's going to be available as a free agent. They have to look at who's coming out of the draft, where they're going to be. Like, I don't think that the Patriots should be buyers right now.
No.
Me neither.
No.
But that, to your question of how is that possible, that was my only thought.
Maybe they're just trying to get more people to call them.
They're just lonely.
No, well, yeah, they're like, we're buyers and sellers, and then so sellers will call them, and they'll be like, "Ha, just kidding, we're actually sellers."
Yeah, it's like when
as
you're
well.
scalping tickets.
Yeah, they just want to talk. Yeah. He's like, "I need one. I
Yeah.
need one."
Yeah.
That's exactly what's happening.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Robert Kraft he wants to make some trades so that he can leak that information to the journalists who will be voting on whether or not he will get into the Hall of Fame. Because he's a finalist. So if you can give them scoops
So Robert Kraft makes like 50 trades.
50 trades, and he leaks them
He has
to
the whole room.
every different journalist that's going to be voting for him in the Hall of Fame selection process.
Yeah. Does Peter King still have a vote?
I'm sure Peter King's never given up that vote.
Have you seen he's doing Kings Across America?
Yeah, he's
It's just such a funny name. I know it's his last name, but every time I see the tweet, I'm just like, damn, that's a little like.
What is
you
it?
really think a lot about yourself. He's just driving across the country with his wife.
He's going on a road trip.
And
yeah.
his every tweet is just Kings Across America. And it's just like, damn, dude,
Listen,
you're really egotistical. But then I remember, I'm like, oh, his name's Peter King.
I love what Peter King's doing because that's like the ultimate dream.
Yeah.
In old age retirement, just get an RV or one of those silver like trailers, just cruise, go to national parks.
I want to do that
off
right
the
now.
grid.
Same.
Yeah.
I want to just fucking drive. There's
RV
nothing
park
better
living.
than a long drive.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Hank, wait, what game are we on?
Patriots Titans.
We just went down a rabbit hole. Yeah, Patriots. All right. How about your game, PFT Commanders Giants?
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about the Giants because they always play the Commanders very, very tough. They beat us a lot just throughout history. And the defensive line makes me a little bit nervous because I think we're still without our starting left tackle. We might even be on a third string left tackle at this point. So I'm not there are no easy games for the Commanders. Like they're still liable to fall back to how they looked in the first couple weeks. And the Giants in that second game of the season, their defense played really, really well and held us to field goals.
Yeah.
So that makes me nervous.
I wouldn't be nervous because Brian Dable said this week he confirmed that QB Daniel Jones and Deontay Banks will remain in their starting roles. That's not good.
For how long with Deontay Banks?
I like that he just was like, oh, everyone keeps asking me about Deontay Banks. Let me throw Daniel Jones in here as well.
Yeah, shortest. I think Deontay Banks might have the shortest leash in the NFL right now.
He got benched in the middle of the game on Monday Night Football, and now you have your starting quarterback thrown in the same sentence as him. That doesn't feel good.
Yeah. Well,
They're just a mess.
Backup Drew Lock?
No, is it not? Is it not our guy?
DeVito?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but who's second?
Oh, DeVito might be number 3.
Because if DeVito gets in, actually, I'm worried about both those backup quarterbacks.
Yeah, DeVito you should be worried about.
And Drew Lock.
Will you guys be trying to score touchdowns this time?
Drew Lock comes in and he just does some fuck shit. He's going to throw the
Drew
ball
Lock
deep.
and Tommy DeVito. Because remember, the first time you guys played, the Giants didn't have a kicker. The Commanders won with 7 field goals to 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, also...
Offense played great, though.
Which is a fucking
No, our
crazy.
offense wasn't great in that game.
You were. You just couldn't score in the red zone.
That's true. Good point. The kicking situation in D.C., I give enormous amount of credit to the front office for that because we had a shitty kicker at the start of the season, couldn't trust him, and then you go out and you change it immediately after one game where it's like, I don't want this to be a problem for the rest of the season, and you make a quick decision and you get a guy that can actually and has won you football games.
Yeah.
That's like one of those underrated calls that can fly under the radar. But it was shockingly competent on the part of Washington's front office. Now, here's a crazy stat for Daniel Jones in terms of how he plays at home. The last time he threw a touchdown pass at MetLife was 2023. It was New Year's Day, 2023. It's been a long, long time for him. Deontay Banks, did he get benched for getting hurdled, or did he get benched for something else?
I think it was a combo. I think the hurdle didn't help.
The hurdle was a bad visual.
The hurdle did not help.
But he's been bad. I feel like Jaden's rib is not fully healthy yet at this point. It can't be healthy after 2 weeks. So that's still a concern, even though we haven't talked about it at all this week like we were last week. It was like in the news every single day.
I thought he faked it.
Yeah, but that's probably not true.
Oh.
I'm just saying it could have been a fake.
Could have been a fake.
But there have been
also could be very injured.
He could be injured, and that's not an injury that gets better over the course of 2 weeks. So it's going to be tough. Any divisional matchup's going to be tough.
Yeah. What? You have a question?
No, I'll be honest, because I feel like me and PFT have been in good spirits with the whole Bears Commanders thing last week. It would be very funny and I feel like the Commanders are going to lose this game.
Yeah.
Really? So Giants are going to be your hungry dog?
Thinking about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Honestly, I think the Giants are a good bet this week.
Wow.
If I'm being completely neutral on this and knowing my franchise and knowing how the Giants typically play against us, it's a good bet.
Hank, hungry dog. How's the hungry dog been doing? Pretty good, right?
Yeah, we won week 2, so that was like 14-1.
You had the Panthers in it last week.
Tough
We were
week.
2 for 3.
I know we were so close.
But we're up money on the year, so just gotta win another one.
Okay, so next game, Chargers at Browns. Excited about this one. Is that okay, Hank?
I guess.
Jameis. Also, Justin Herbert's been playing awesome. And he needs more credit. They're now opening up the game. I looked at it, his stats. The first 4 games, he had 23 pass attempts per game. He was averaging, last 3 games, 35 pass attempts per game. Lad McConkey, Jim Harbaugh said that Lad McConkey reminds him of Steve Smith.
It's high praise.
High praise. So we get Justin Herbert playing really well. Jameis. I'm excited for this game.
Yeah, so Justin, he's had 2 consecutive games with over 270 yards passing, and they don't have a lot at wide receiver, but if you can unlock Lad, then you all of a sudden have a weapon. And going up against the Browns,
The Browns defense is banged up. Denzel Ward out. JOK, obviously.
Browns defense is banged up, and the Chargers defense is awesome.
Yes.
Chargers defense is really good. They haven't allowed more than 20 points all season. I kind of like the Chargers.
Yeah, I do too.
But I want Jameis to go out there and
I want him to ball.
Yeah, do it for America.
I want him to ball out. I want him to have fun. I want him to do some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I want Jameis.
Yep.
I need Jameis. All right, Hank, here's another one that stinks. Saints-Panthers. Derek Carr said I am no savior.
Yeah, I disagree.
Well, for a savior from how bad they've been,
Yes.
yeah, they've been outscored 110-45 when he's been out.
Wait, is this Derek Carr like trying to rebrand as a bad boy? Because he said I'm no savior, and he also said when I get back I'm going to be a psychopath.
Oh,
so we have I'm no saint. He's basically being like I'm a bad boy. We got bad boy Derek Carr.
Holy shit! I didn't see the
psychopath.
psychopath quote.
Yeah, Derek Carr is going to be a psychopath.
Is Derek Carr a psychopath? Like when, like a Sports Center anchor gets let go, and they're like, now I get to say what I really want to say.
Yeah, I'm going to join. I'm going to call up Barstool, see if they'll let me do a podcast.
Yeah, right. Like is that what's going on here? Are we going to really see a psychopath?
I think he's probably going to eat carbohydrates.
Oh.
I think like he might even have a full sugar Coca-Cola.
He might not put on his mascara.
Yeah. Or make heavier mascara.
Heavier mascara.
Yeah, go dressed as Halloween as slutty Derek Carr.
The Panthers are just the most bad vibe team in the world. I mean, trading Deontay Johnson, it's like you basically just telling your whole team, we all suck. None of you are going to be here when we're good again. It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what there's no irredeemable part of the Panthers.
Well, Bryce is starting and Andy Dalton's healthy.
Okay.
So what are they doing? I think
they're doing the right thing.
I don't think they know what they're doing though.
I think they're seeing if he could do something. He probably can't, but he's trying to do something.
Yes, Hank?
Xavier Legette is the best part of the Panthers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you guys see? I've.
What'd he say?
You guys are gonna watch this. I've said the way he says. I can't stop saying allergic.
Okay.
Oh, asparagus was the one.
And
for me.
Okay.
but allergic.
Asparagus was
I've
so
been
good.
saying to myself I can't get it out of my head.
All right, let's hear it.
I just hope they got some good food. I'm a picky eater, so I just hope they got something I can eat.
They have good chocolate.
I don't eat candy like this.
But what are your no-goes? You say you're a picky eater. What are your no-goes?
Yeah, I don't eat seafood. I don't eat like peppers and onions and all that. I don't really eat vegetables like this.
What? So you eat like pizza?
And like I just started eating asparagus. I eat like string beans and green peas. But
That's not a
it.
surprise for some reason.
Bacon grease? Do they have to be cooked in bacon grease?
No. That ain't like that.
Pasta?
Yeah, I eat some pasta.
Okay.
Yeah, I eat some pasta.
Chicken, steak, all the regular stuff.
Yeah, all
No
the regular.
seafood though?
Nah, I'm allergic.
Yeah, he is the best part of the Panthers.
Yeah, he's country as fuck. I love that.
I like that so much. Spurgus. Yeah, that's the Germany game next week. Giants Panthers.
Oh man. That might be the only NFL game that I will not watch.
I won't watch a second.
I don't think I'm going to watch it. I think the NFL they've pulled enough levers if you're doing Mad Libs for how you engineer a game that even I won't watch. I think having the Panthers and the Giants play at 8:30 a.m. in Germany
On daylight savings day.
on
daylight savings
day.
Shit.
It's the reverse Vince McMahon meme where he keeps getting more excited. I keep getting less excited until finally you figure out a way, Goodell.
Yeah.
That might be the least watched NFL game in modern history.
Yeah.
The
The daylight savings helps you.
No.
No, we go forward next week.
Yeah.
Back.
Fall forward.
Fall forward,
that's,
you idiot.
that's why your running game doesn't work. You always fall forward.
It's an alliteration, dummy.
Right.
Fall forward.
Right. You guys are going to watch it. You guys are lying.
I don't think I am.
I definitely.
I will.
Second half.
I know that guy's going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to watch all of it.
Fair.
I will watch parts of it.
I think I've watched every NFL game in the last at least 10 years. I think I've seen every single one. And I think this might be the one where I will opt out of.
We actually should not watch it as a podcast and then give a recap.
Yeah. Okay.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, Hank, we have to twist your arm for that one?
We're doing this is our boycott against the NFL.
Yeah. By the way, the stat, how bad are the Panthers? Saints are the only team over the last 20 years to have to be 7+ point favorite on the road week 8 later with a winning percentage less than 30%.
That's wild.
They're 2-6, and they are 7.5 point favorites on the road in the division. That's how bad the Panthers are.
Mm-hmm. Psychopath Derek Carr.
Okay, Max, Jaguars, Eagles. Are we worried about Doug Peterson's homecoming?
Yes.
Okay. Here's something that could make you feel a little better. Velus Jones is on the Jaguars now. He'll probably fumble if they play him.
Okay, that's your guy.
Yeah.
That's
not
your
my
guy.
guy.
No, that's your
not
guy.
my guy. Also, want to give credit to the Eagles. We have some contacts with the Eagles, but we probably should figure out how their contracts work because I think we need to rework Hank's contract. Did you guys see there was a story that Jalen Hurts, Saquon, and Jeffrey Lurie played golf with Obama? It came out afterwards when Jalen Hurts did his press conference. He said he didn't play golf. He rode with them because in his contract, he's not allowed to play golf. How do we get that contract for Hank?
There were a lot of people
tagging him.
Yeah.
Well, tagging me and asking why can Hank do this?
Yeah.
I would have to sign the contract.
We could get you to sign the contract.
Yeah.
The four of us, you don't think we could physically manhandle you into signing a contract?
Well, that would be illegal.
No, it wouldn't.
Put you under duress.
Street justice.
Give you 2 years guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. You don't know about that.
I'd hold out.
Don't drop the soap.
Is that deal breaker? That's a deal breaker for you?
Yes.
What would you demand to have? Like, what would we need to do to make you include that in your contract?
I honestly was thinking about it. Like, I really can't put a price on happiness.
Can't put a price on golf?
So you wouldn't take Jalen Hurts' contract?
If it was Jalen Hurts' contract, and
that's what it would be.
How long is his contract? Like 4 years?
We can probably get out of this contract pretty quickly.
There's probably an exit in there after about
I would
2
do
years.
that because then I would have so much money, then I wouldn't even have to sign another contract.
Hank would put this podcast in cap hell.
Yeah, he would. We'd be maxed out.
Let's see what the contract is.
We'd have to have memes start.
5 years, $255 million.
All right, fine. Yeah, I would sign that contract.
Mm-hmm. You think that's worth it? So you do have a price on happiness.
Yeah, because I could then just retire and golf for the rest of my life.
We should just get it, and then in fine print, the $250 million is in Taylor coins.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I lost a lot of money in that. And I thought it was a great thing. They were bringing the world of the crypto communities and sports
betting and boobs
together, and the communities were going to join. And then once the communities joined, it's like now they're together, and there's just a huge community at that point.
Because I actually don't think crypto guys have ever sports gambled or looked at boobs.
No. But imagine you're not thinking about the communities coming together, though.
That's true.
It's more important than money at that point. I have a sad Jag stat. This is one of the saddest ones. Chep sent this to me yesterday. He FaceTimed me to tell me this stat because he's like, I can't text this to you because it's so sad. This came from Daniel Griffiths. The Jaguars this year are averaging 5.8 yards per play.
Okay.
This is technically the best offense of all time in Jaguars history.
What?
What we've seen this year is the best they've ever been.
How's that possible?
No.
Yes.
Better than Bortles?
Apparently. They don't win. I mean,
Byron Leftwich, David Garrard,
Bortles almost got him
Mark
to the Super Bowl.
Brunell.
They are
Mojo?
averaging. This is the
Plane
best.
Train?
Right now, this is the best the Jacksonville Jaguars have ever played offensively.
This might be a situation where Chaps is faking us out, and because the Jags are so sad, we can be like, I guess it's right.
It might be.
He's a wily one.
Yeah, but
Chaps.
if true,
That is crazy.
This is a very sad stat. This is as good as it's ever been.
I guess
for
different league now. They pass.
That's true.
Max, so nerve level for this game. You got to crush them.
You just got to win.
No, you got to
You
crush
just gotta
them.
win.
You got to crush them.
This is Peterson's second time coming back. We crushed him the first time morally because I think they went up and then we came back.
Oh, morally crushed.
It was a moral crushing. This time you just have to win. It looks like such an easy spot for the Eagles. Looks like such an obvious spot for the Eagles. The Jags are so bad. The Eagles look so good right now that it's a nerve-wracking game. It's like it's an obvious, like you think one way. NFL's a week-to-week league.
It's week-to-week league.
It's a week-to-week league.
Week-to-week.
But the last 3 weeks, you guys have looked pretty good.
Very good.
Are you guys fully
good.
back?
Fully.
No. Last week we looked like a team that was fully back, but it's a week-to-week league.
Should we start talking Jalen Hurts MVP?
People are saying.
Yeah.
Is that a discussion that's happening?
What are we talking about right now?
People are
Got
saying
us there.
we are
Got
people.
us there.
Max is
Talking
learning
about right now.
Got us there.
Max is learning. I feel like a dad that his son finally beat him up.
Damn.
Yeah. This is good. This is good
Flipped
shit,
it
Max.
on us.
So, but if you do win this week, you're fully back.
No, we're not fully back until we beat the Commanders.
I love that.
This
is what I wanted. I wanted Max to hate me. I wanted Philly fans to feel something about the Commanders.
I know. I got DC. I got Washington fans in my mentions all pissed off at me. It feels good. I like it.
Good.
Did you guys see who won Pepsi Rookie of the Week?
The fan vote?
Pepsi Rookie, the most, hardware.
Was it Jaden Daniels?
Hardware.
It must have been that drive he had before the Hail Mary.
Hardware.
I've been watching so much Eagles film this week. Twitter film.
Oh.
Twitter film after a big win is the best.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Just watching the random guy that you've never heard of break down how Cooper DeJean going from one side of the field to the other means that he's going to be an NFL superstar for the next 10 years. It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, 22. Okay. Bears Cardinals afternoon games. Matt Eberflus finally said it was his fault. Took him till Wednesday.
How'd he say it?
I believe. Let me pull up the exact quote. He obviously said on Sunday and Monday that it's not a big deal that they didn't guard the sideline, all that stuff. And then I believe he said, I'm going to find it right now because I know it took all the way till Wednesday. Matt Eberflus. All right, he said, on reviewing the Washington loss, the game didn't finish the way we wanted it to, and it starts with me.
Okay.
So he finally came to grips after 3 days, after the locker room, everyone talked out, after Ben Johnson rumors started, he finally was like, you know what? I've done some soul searching. It's me.
Okay, starts with me is good. That's a good start.
Yeah.
I would like at some point for him to say it starts and ends with me.
Yeah.
Because it can start with you and then
it needs to end.
It needs to end with you also.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's ending with somebody else.
It needs to end with you.
It starts and ends with you. I got a question for you, Big Cat, about Caleb.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're asking Caleb to do too much?
No.
Not physically.
No.
I'm talking about the 10, 15 seconds before every play.
The checks at the line,
where he goes to every single player and lets them know what their responsibility is for that play.
No.
Would it be easier if they took half that off of his
No,
plate?
because then that would be more on Shane Waldron.
Okay, so it's you'd rather have that be on.
I'd rather Caleb make the mistake than Shane Waldron make the mistake.
Not Shane Waldron.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it seems like they're asking him to do a lot that can get in the way.
He does a lot, yeah.
It can simplifying it just a little bit can help him play a little bit more loose.
I would like them to come out and maybe have a good drive to start a game for once. Also, here's a fun stat. Roschon Johnson, did you know that he's the only player to score a touchdown on 100% of the carries inside the 5-yard line this season? Minimum 4 carries. That's the guy that we had on the field for when Doug Kramer got the handoff.
What's Doug Kramer's percentage at?
He's not scored a touchdown yet.
0%.
0%. This is a must-win for the Bears, obviously. This is also how you respond game.
Mm-hmm.
If they respond well, we can start saying, okay, let's see what happens in the NFC North when we get going with that. If they come out flat, if the Cardinals look good and we lose this game, it's just bottom out.
So it's this week against the Cardinals, next week Patriots.
Yep, and then it's
divisional time.
Then it's
and if you win these 2 next games, then you're okay, Yoffs.
6. No. I'm not saying Yoff's at 6-3. I'm saying if they're 6-3 going into the divisional gauntlet, they have a chance to go to the playoffs. They would 6-3 was the goal to get to a spot where, hey, you can take some lumps against the Lions, Packers, and Vikings and still maybe be in the playoffs.
I don't even know if I should put this out there into the universe, but I will. There is a chance that we get a rematch, Big Cat, in the playoffs.
Well, I don't think the Bears are going to make the
don't
playoffs.
put that into the universe.
I don't think the
Okay, I
Bears are going
retract
to make
it.
the playoffs. So that would be tough.
Okay. It is out there in the universe
It could
now.
change. I mean, if they win these next 2 games, I'll reassess. I'm on a week-to-week. It's a week-to-week league.
point.
The only thing that makes me excited about this game is that the Cardinals are last in pass rush win rate. So hopefully, with our banged-up offensive line, we can still protect Caleb. And also, people have been calling for Tyreek Stevenson to get cut. We need him because we got some banged-up guys, and we need him. And he's not a bad player. He had a bad moment, so we need him.
So the Cardinals, they stink in terms of getting pressure.
Yeah.
So if Caleb can have a little bit more time,
It would be nice.
It would be very, very nice. The only thing that you're looking at on the Cardinals side is they might get their first-round pick this week.
Ooh.
So Darius Robinson has been practicing, and he's about to come back. We don't know if it's going to be on Sunday or not.
Okay.
If I were the Bears, I would just hope,
Yeah.
maybe just
Take another week.
Don't push it. Don't push it. Give yourself another week.
Make sure
and
you're ready. Don't rush it.
Let Caleb get some time back in the pocket.
Yeah, don't rush it. Okay. How about Lions at Packers? Hank, are we allowed to get excited about that game?
Yes, this is
This
there's
is the
two.
primo game?
There's 2 exciting
The
ones.
crown jewel.
Wait, what was the other
I
exciting
think Dolphins Bills. This is exciting too.
one?
For a
What?
casual.
You pick Dolphins Bills over Broncos Ravens, Falcons Cowboys.
For a casual.
Okay.
I disagree, Hank.
Casuals don't even know who Bo Nix is.
Are you a casual?
If I didn't work for this podcast, I'd be a lot more casual.
You'd be the most casual. Would you not? What would you do on Sundays?
I do what I used to do before this podcast existed, which is watch the Patriots game, and then sometimes do other stuff or go
And
to
then
bars.
just be done?
Yeah.
What a life. All right, so what are your thoughts on this game? Because this is going to be a great game.
I'm excited about this game. I think the Lions are going to roll.
Wow.
Lions roll. What does that mean?
10+.
10, like a stomping.
Jordan Love may be playing.
How's his groin? Can we get an update on Jordan Love's groin?
I don't know how his groin is.
Groins don't recover that easily.
No.
They don't.
Jordan Love might be playing. I think the Packers are going to win.
So this is one of Jared Goff's 3 outdoor games this season.
Yep.
He's only got 3 of them. And he hasn't had one yet, right? Because it's the 49ers, it's the Packers, and it's the Bears.
Yeah, no, he hasn't had one.
So it's going to be shitty. It's going to be rainy.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit windy.
I just this just feels like a Matt Eberflus spot.
Well,
Or, sorry, not Matt Eberflus. I'm an idiot. Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur.
The good Matt.
Good Matt. Matt LaFleur loves doing weird shit with Malik Willis, who might get some playing time this weekend. And if he plays well, then now we're talking about official Matt Flynn status, where there will be a team that offers him maybe not insane money, but good. He will extend his career by 3 to 5 years if he plays good this weekend.
Hank, I don't like when you like the favorite and I like the underdog. It's Freaky Friday.
You know what I think it is, Big Cat? Did you hear what Coach Bill said?
No.
Belichick?
No.
Belichick called the Detroit offense impossible to stop.
Whoa.
Impossible.
They are kind of impossible, but they haven't played outside yet.
That's right. Maybe only winter.
A little bit slower. It's also 3.5. That feels like a lot for a division game. I'll just say it. It's a lot for a division game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Last game in the afternoon, Rams Seahawks. What, Hank?
The stat from advisors that is the one is the Lions are 14-3 against the spread in their last 17 divisional matchups and 14-3 against the spread in their last 17 road games.
Whoa.
That's
All
pretty
right,
good.
So now I'm thinking the Lions are going to roll.
And
You're
also
probably
impossible to stop offense.
Impossible to stop. But what about Matt LaFleur? Good coach.
But I also think that having a half-in, half-out quarterback, that might not be 100% versus your backup. It's almost worse than Jordan Love just being out and knowing you're playing Malik Willis.
That's a fair point. That was good analysis.
Thank you.
Rams Seahawks is the afternoon. I'm just gonna bet the over in this game and hope that the Seahawks aren't total Jekyll and Hyde where they can't do anything on both sides of the ball.
We're gonna get DK back, maybe.
Hopefully. This is a huge game for the NFC West.
It is, yeah.
Massive.
Yeah. Whoever wins this game, it's like we're going to say that they have a commanding lead basically in the NFC West, even though they don't.
They absolutely will not.
But it's gonna feel like that is the best team right now in that division.
And the Rams, if they win, they're all the way back in this thing. If they lose, they're going to be back into a spot where they're like, where we got a lot of hay to make here.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're also going to be forgetting about the 49ers, who will probably get off the bye week, be healthy, and then they'll just
dominate everyone. Yeah. I just don't know what the Seahawks they feel like they're teetering. What are you going to say, Max? Do you have something?
I got nothing.
Nothing? You have any opinion on this game?
Not much.
Nothing?
Not much.
I'm excited for this game.
I think that McDonald needs to just run the damn ball.
Yeah. This just feels like an afternoon game, obviously, because it's in Seattle and it's two NFC West teams. But like, I'm just gonna enjoy having this game being on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just gonna be. I'm gonna take the over. Matthew Stafford is way too often forgotten about, and now with Puka and Cooper back, their offense is gonna just eat everyone. I feel like it's just, can their defense, which is very young, hang in.
I like watching Puka Nacua without the ball.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys when they're running the ball, I just like how he blocks. And it might have to do with his hair just flying around out there as he's running into linebackers and safeties and shit. But he is one of the funnest players in the NFL to watch when he's not even a part of the play.
Yeah, agreed. All right, last game on Sunday, Colts Vikings. This Anthony Richardson thing feels like it's been handled poorly, I would say. So it came out, Shane Steichen made the call. No influence from Jim Irsay. No influence from Chris Ballard. Anthony Richardson came out and said that Steichen didn't really give him a reason why he was being benched. Mm-hmm. And then Shane Steichen also said Joe will be our quarterback going forward. So it's not a one-game benching.
He clarified that.
Yeah, he clarified.
That seems like a weird point to clarify.
Yeah.
Like you make the switch, and if Joe Flacco doesn't play well, then it's real easy for you to go back to Anthony Richardson. But then he came out and clarified the switch and said, no, he's now our full quarterback. So now you can't make a switch back to Anthony Richardson.
And then a team source from the Colts said, we are not quitting on Anthony. That will be the story, but that's not the case. Feels like that's the story.
You're quitting on him for now.
Yeah, it's also like, I know you don't want it to be the story, but feels like that's the story.
Yeah, Brian Flores had an interesting quote about Anthony Richardson. He said, I know there's been a lot of talk about the play where he came out, but did you watch the play? I mean, the guy throws a 300-pounder off and runs around. I thought it was an incredible play. I mean, I got tired watching him. It seems like this is a lot of description of, like, Brian Flores is doing too much overpraising how crazy that play was.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's saying it to keep that story going and, like, in the news.
Well, it's also, creates, he's trying to create the division in that locker room where if there was anyone who was defending Anthony Richardson, they'd be like, oh, look, Brian Flores has our back. I think everyone probably hated that move.
Have you watched the play? Because, hand up, I actually haven't seen – I didn't go back and watch the play where he has to come out.
It wasn't that crazy. And, again, if you're an offensive lineman who is, offensive linemen have to just be living 70 pounds overweight, probably banged up everything, running down the field, and then the quarterback comes out. Eesh.
I mean, the description of that play was the guy throws a 300-pounder off him, runs around.
Yeah.
That's what you do every play if you're an offensive lineman.
Brian Flores playing head games.
Yeah.
Keeping it going. The Vikings trade for Cam Robinson from the Jaguars, beef up their offensive line.
Good move. They had to do it.
I'll see. The Vikings, we'll see if their defense starts to, because it's happened a couple times where the Vikings defense has fallen off a little, where at some point you got to have guys who can win one-on-one and not just blitz.
Yeah.
Blitzing, if you're playing a really good quarterback or a quarterback can figure it out, blitzing, you can't just blitz and be like, that's all of our pressure.
But I think they're still going to do it. Even if they get those guys that can win one-on-one, that's just the Brian Flores way.
But they're back-to-back games where their defense taking a step back with the Lions and the Rams.
They're also
no pressure.
Huge free agent signing this week for the Vikings. TJ Hawkinson. I think he's back. I think he's going to play this week.
That is a huge free agency signing.
And I'm excited to see him out there.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game because Joe Flacco's playing. Mm-hmm. Sunday Night Football. I'm excited. Joe Flacco. Okay. Let's do a touchdown parlay because we got We got to hit it. Were we 2 out of 3 last week? Yeah.
I lost. So.
Yeah, no, it was you, Devontae Adams.
Yeah, that was a bad pick.
Devontae Adams hurt us. So we're going to put up a touchdown parlay in the DraftKings Sportsbook. Every day is game day at DraftKings Sportsbook, and now through the end of the year, it's extra special. All customers will get a special daily promo every single day from profit boosts, odd boosts, no sweat bets, and more. There's something for everyone. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. Take advantage of special daily promotions only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Who we got? So, Max, you in? You in, Max?
Sure.
All right, get in.
I'll hop in.
Get in here. I'm going to go Bijan.
I'm going to go Josh Allen.
I'm going to go Quan. He didn't score last week.
So it'll be early. Oh, no. The Eagles are late game.
Yeah.
Yeah, afternoon. Okay.
4 o'clock.
I feel good about that.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. So go check that out on the DraftKings.
We were 1 of
Sportsbook.
3 last week, just for the record. But that's fine.
What were the other 2?
Brian Robinson was the other one.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I just remember sitting there and you being like, why did I take Devontae?
No, that was a bad pick.
Yeah.
But I don't feel as bad.
No, you shouldn't feel as bad. You should not feel as bad.
It was a terrible pick.
Okay. Should we do our picks? We are bad as a collective unit. I think
I'm out of the basement.
Memes is at top. Memes is 9-7. I'm 8-8. PFT 7-9. Max is 6-9-1. Hank is 6-10.
Yeah, it might be 1-5. My last 6.
It would be a shame if you had to go on a bachelor party in golf.
I know.
Okay,
That
who's
would
up
actually
first?
be awesome if it was a bachelor party that didn't golf.
That'd be Big Cat.
I am up first. Ooh, a lot of pressure. Shit. I don't like going first here. I will take I'll take the Chargers and the Browns over 43.
I like that.
Jameis.
He'll find a way.
Jameis.
I will take the Detroit Lions minus 3.5 against the Green Bay Packers.
I will take the over in the Lions Packers over 48.5. I think the last 6 games, 4 out of 6 went over.
Fun.
I'm going to take the opposite of Hank. I will take the Packers plus 3.5.
Okay. I will take the over in that game.
Memes just took the over.
Memes, you took the over?
He did just take the over in that game.
I will take the. Did anyone do the under in Patriots Titans?
No.
No, but I was going to.
I will take that.
Nice. Good pick.
38. That's
Good
a lot
pick.
of points.
The fuck?
You go. You got
I'll
Dwight.
go
You
again.
got
Okay, so in
a
that
snake.
case, I
Not
will.
ready.
I will take psychopath Derek Carr.
Ooh.
Minus 7 at the Panthers.
7. Yep, 7.
Yep. I will take the under in Giants Commanders under 44.5.
Okay.
Vikings minus 5.
Ooh.
I'm going to take the over in the Commanders Giants game.
Whoa.
Great offense. I think the Giants is going to be a shootout.
Okay.
Shootout.
I will take. Fuck it. I'll take the Bears plus 1.5.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah. I'll just do it. I'll do it. All right.
So you know how you said that playing the Panthers is fun?
Yeah.
I think playing the Cardinals, from an offensive standpoint,
Not
is
the
fun.
pass rush. Yeah, no pass rush
It's
would be
fun.
nice. Would be fun. Okay. We have Fantasy Fuckboys brought to you by our friends at Body Armor. Body Armor. This segment is brought to you by Body Armor. Real hydration, real ingredients packed with electrolytes, vitamins, and nothing artificial. Body Armor sports drink has great tasting flavors like strawberry, banana, and blue raspberry. Not only do we hydrate with Body Armor, but some of the best athletes in the world do as well, like Christian McCaffrey, Joe Burrow, and Sabrina Ionescu. We love Body Armor. I'm drinking it right now. Get yours today at Walmart or a local grocery store near you with Body Armor. What's up?
What's up, boys?
What's up? What's up, Capabiancos?
My name's Marco Mozzarella.
Hello, Marco.
Eminem.
Marco Mortadella. My stardom this week, Will Smith. Big
Will
Willie
Smith.
style.
Yeah.
It's the 5th straight year Will Smith has won a World Series.
Oh, shit.
That's pretty jiggy.
That's
Damn.
wild. How many Will Smith do you think it is?
3.
It's 5.
5.
Will
Holy
Smith.
shit.
Just kidding, it's 2.
That guy's doing a lot of slapping.
I was
Getting
close.
jiggy with it. My sit-em, Lil Durk.
Lil Durk.
He got caught up in a wiretap. He's bopped. He's going to jail for life.
He was trying to get back at King Von's guy.
Yeah. He said too much on. He said too much on Mike.
Now he's riding for the clink.
Remember Omerta?
My sleeper, Xavier Leggett.
Yeah.
Xavier.
He might be allergic to seafood, but he's not allergic to the end zone. He's going to get in. He's going to have a couple TDs.
I love
Take him off
it.
the bench, put him in your starting rotation.
I love it.
Love that a lot. Mortadelli.
Michael
Mikey Berg.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? This is Austin Capobianco. This weekend, I'm starting covering first base. Pretty important thing to do.
Oh, it's right there.
It's right. Oh, where is it?
It's right there, right over there.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't feel like running all the way over there. It's a long way away. Respect 90. This week I'm sitting soup this week actually. This week it's been two nights. Italian wedding soup. It's very nice this time of year normally, but it's been too hot. Why is it so hot out these days? I miss the days when it was October and it was cold. You had to put on pants.
Set your watch to it. Remember, next week we set our clocks
forward. Yeah, that's right, absolutely. And then my sleeper this week is T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson getting back. People forget about T.J. Hawkinson. T.J. Hawkinson's going to score a touchdown this weekend.
That's
Bet on
facts.
T.J. T.J.'s back.
All right, what's up, fuckers? This is Devin Bianco.
Hey, Devin Bianco.
My stardom this week is Shohei Ohtani's interpreter. I hope he bet on the Dodgers to win the World Series and made some bank.
Ipe. Good job, Ipe.
My sit-em is Ryan Clark. He dressed up as Bill Belichick for Halloween, and it's fucking freaky.
I thought it was funny.
I thought it was creepy.
I think it's an example of a double standard.
White face.
Double standard.
Can't do that shit.
Ryan Clark, I don't think he used to play when he went out to Denver, which is a smart move because you go out there, you might turn a little gay. You might start looking at your buddy and be like, hey, the altitude's getting to me.
Give me a kiss. Mwah, mwah, mwah. And my sleeper this week is going to be Bijan. 3 touchdowns for Bijan.
Love that.
3.
Love that.
Oh, yeah, that is creepy. How do you say that look good? It doesn't look like Bill Belichick.
It's funny.
It looks like white chicks.
It looks like
That's funny.
It's funny, but it's not. It doesn't look like Bill Belichick.
I mean, to me, Halloween is like funny and creative.
But he should have just worn the sweatshirt and the wig.
That's basic.
To me,
but it doesn't look like Bill Belichick.
You remember those episodes of The Office where Kathy Bates came in? That looks like Kathy Bates. I expect to have 2 Great Danes next to her.
Doesn't look like Belichick.
Belichick looked great in his suit. I mean,
what did he do?
He just wore one of Ryan Clark's.
Oh, what did you think about the shots fired?
Yeah, shots fired. I mean, it's petty wars.
This was
league.
Belichick's ex-girlfriend.
Wife? I believe so.
About Linda?
Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened? She wore a Kill Bill costume?
She wore a Kill Bill costume, and then his new girlfriend dressed up as him when he was the coach of the Giants. I don't know if that was a response or a coincidence.
He's got girls fighting over each other. I love it.
Dressing up as your boyfriend for Halloween that's kind of strange.
Can we see the young Bill Belichick? Yeah, because then what?
Do you kiss her? Well,
kiss yourself
while she's dressed up as you?
I'd agree. That's a little strange. Yeah. Okay, we got 2 great interviews. So we have Julian Edelman, our good friend, and then Coach Bruce Arians, also our good friend. Before we do that, PFT, you got a couple ads.
Before we get to Jules, he's brought to you by Coors Light because no matter what happens between your favorite rivals this week, you've got a chance to win. Just go to the PMT Instagram, tell us how you prepare for a rivalry game with Coors Light for an opportunity to win the Coors Light Rivalry shirt. 5 winners are selected every Saturday until December 7th. So remember, when rivalries get a little overheated, choose chill. Keep things cool by reaching for the mountain cold refreshment of Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, literally made to chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, cold packaged. It's as crisp and refreshing as the Rockies, perfect for a moment to unwind. Coors Light is the best. Sometimes you're watching your games on TV and you're like, I need to kick my feet up. I'm getting too intense right now. I need to reach for an ice cold Blue Mountain and drink a Coors Light. I'm going to have a couple Coors Lights this weekend. Might even have some on Friday during the Punk Show on stage. Bring a couple mountain cold Coors Lights with me. Even the biggest rivals agree when it's time to cool things down and enjoy the game. You choose chill. Then you reach for a Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/take, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. That's CoorsLight.com/take. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Julian Edelman is also brought to you by Simply Safe. If you're ever worried about the safety of your home and family, there's no better time to act. Right now, you can get 60% off a new Simply Safe security system, their best deal of the year. Simply Safe is the home security that I trust. My listeners can get 60% off today by visiting simplysafe.com/PMT. It's a big deal, 60% off wireless security. That's when you go to simplysafe.com/PMT. It's a new way to protect your home. It stops intruders before they break in. Old school systems only take action once someone is already inside your home. That's too late. Simply Safe's Active Guard outdoor protection changes the game. It prevents crime before it even happens. If someone's lurking around or acting suspiciously, those agents see them in real time. They talk to them directly, set off your spotlights, and even call the police before they've had a chance to break in. Simply Safe is offering my listeners exclusive early access to their Black Friday sale this week only. You get 60% off any new system with a select professional monitoring plan. This is their best offer of the year. Go to simplysafe.com/PMT. That's simplysafe.com/PMT. There's no safe like Simply Safe. And now here's Julian Edelman.
Okay, we now welcome on our very good friend, Julian Edelman. Jules, who now has another podcast, Dudes on Dudes with Gronk, which we're going to get both of you on together in a couple weeks. But we wanted to have you on to talk ball. And also, dude, like, how many podcasts are you going to do?
I think this is it. 2. We'll do 2.
Okay.
2? That's a good amount.
Honestly, it's just an excuse for me and Rob to hit the hot tub together and do like a sauna session and then like talk for an hour. And it's been fun. We've literally tried to bring the same routine that we did together for 9 years in New England and just try to capture like the locker moments when you're, in between meetings, you go there and you guys are taking a piss next to each other. And, Rob says, "Oh, dude, you see how good fucking Ray Lewis looks on film," or something like that. And just crazy shit like that. So it's been fun. Games with Names has been fun. Dudes with Dudes has been fun. It's cool to have 2 different kind of concepts, but kind of similar. Like we get to talk about games on the Games with Names, and then, everyone always wants to categorize what kind of guy is, and that's kind of what we've been doing on Dudes with Dudes. You got your stud, your freak, your dude's dude, your whiz, and a dog. So it's been fun to kind of go in there and categorize it and then communicate with the people arguing about, nah, this guy's not a dog, he's a whiz. So it's been fun. It keeps honestly, for me, it helps me in my TV world too, because the more I like watch the old football, then it brings all these memories from like my career that I fucking completely forgot. And then like it makes it better for everything. So these things are just awesome. Keeps my head in the game.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is a dude?
What is a dude?
Yeah.
What are the categories of dudes?
It's your show. So whatever. Yeah. What is it? What is a dude? I want to know.
Categories of dudes. You got your stud.
Okay. Oh, so a dude isn't its own category.
No. A dude is just like someone that we all are, man or female, man or girl. You could be a dude. Like a dude's like a bro. Like if you have a 7-year-old, how old's your kid, Big Cat?
5.
5. Are they broing you yet?
Yeah, he bros me all the time.
Yeah,
He goes,
I got a 7-year-old
what's
daughter,
up,
she
bro?
bros me. I don't know what she means by it, but that's the same thing as a dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
He says
and
that
there's
all the
5
time.
different categories. You got your stud, which is like the athleticism's there, the football IQ. He's got the pedigree. He's always been the guy. You got your freak, which is a one-of-one guy. He's just a fucking one-of-one. There's no one like him, like a Randy Johnson or like a Randy Moss or some receiver.
Yeah.
He's a one-of-one, jumps high, catches a ball, can freaking, track anything, one-hander landers. He was just an absolute freak. You got your dog, someone who's like relentless, motivated, maybe had to go the long road, maybe been arrested or something, but has always been that kind of guy to make big plays when his team needs it. Then you got your whiz, which that's like an innovative guy. For me, like an intellect guy, someone who comes in clutch, like a Steph Curry. Like that dude's like the most unbelievable whiz. He's literally changed the game of basketball because now, like, I just remember basketball always being a bigger guy's sport. Now, like, you see a bunch of these littler dudes. It's a space game. It's 3-pointers. Like every kid, you go to like the asphalts. I'll be at my daughter's soccer practice, and I'll watch the kids playing basketball. And like every kid thinks they're Steph Curry. They're like 8-year-olds hitting, like trying to, like, they're practicing their half court shots. That's a whiz. It's unreal. And then you got your dude's dude. The dude's dude is your glue guy. You know, the guy is in the locker room, kind of. He's not the craziest player on your team, but he's kind of that guy that keeps everything together. You can count on him. When you're having a low day, or you can go have a beer with him. He may not drink, but he'll be there and just listen to you like a dude's dude. He's the glue guy. So that we just categorize these dudes into what kind of dudes they are.
I like that.
Wait,
yeah, so what are we dudes?
Yeah.
Or we're not. We're definitely not freaks.
I would say this is what I thought for you two.
Okay.
PFT, I think he's a whiz.
Okay.
I think he's elite with just his podcast wittiness, and you were in that category too. But like it's different when you're from DC. Like the Chicago is like the Cheers vibes, so like everyone wants to hang out with you. So I put you in the dude category. You're like a glue guy. What? You know, you could be in any room. You could do 5 different shows, which you both can do that. But like it's just impressive that like anywhere you're around, people just want to hang out with you because you just seem like a guy that everyone wants to hang out with.
What about Hank? That's the most important
Hank, I would say, is
dog.
I give him a dog.
Dog.
I give him a dog.
I knew that one.
He was. Didn't he get fired like 4 times and just kept on showing up back to work? Like, he's been fired. He started as an intern, didn't get paid for the first 20 years of his career or 5 years of his career. You know, now he's kind of worked his way up the rank. He's a dog.
What about Max? Freak?
Max is a freak. Max is a freak.
Yeah, freak for
I
Max.
don't know Max that well yet. I'm still learning Max.
We got to get you to do a freak off with Max.
Yeah. Max is.
I'd say.
I like
big baby.
His takes. He's funny.
Yeah, he's big freak. Big freak. That's what that boy Max is. So
he
I don't know if you saw the news.
Like a big guy on the podcast though. Like when I met him,
little boy,
I was like, he doesn't sound like a bigger guy.
Yeah, he's powerful. He's powerful, Max. I don't know if you just saw the news, Julian, but speaking of dudes and dudes that do podcasts, I hope I'm not breaking this to you, but you and Gronk did not win sexiest podcast host this year.
Who won it?
The Kelseys.
Well, without a doubt.
You think so?
I don't know. You guys are pretty sexy.
They're pretty. They're hot right now. They're on the fire right now.
Yeah. They also, I saw you guys mention on your podcast that you and Gronk were saying that Travis and Taylor should have a kid.
100%.
So why is it okay? Yeah. So why is it okay for you to say that, but we can't?
Who said? You guys said they shouldn't.
We were encouraging them to try. We wanted to have them try really hard.
How would be?
Yeah, but the internet comes after us.
It could run her out. It could probably dunk.
Yeah. It'll be a freak.
She's a stud.
Freak kid. She is a stud.
They're both studs. That make a freak.
Jules, what we need to get your take on. I know you probably said it on a couple other shows, but tell us the whole Gerard Mayo soft thing, how a team responds to that. What's going on in New England right now?
Well, the team clearly responded. You know, they go out and got a win against the Jets. We all know that rivalry. And for me, with Gerard, I think he was including himself in that. Like, I think he's on that level with the team where he could say that and he knows what buttons to push to get them to clearly respond like they did this week against the Jets. You know, he's a guy that's played. He communicates in more of a younger fashion, and it clearly worked. So, you know, I'm happy for Gerard. And sometimes, hey, you got to call a spade a spade. You can't go out there and lie to the guys and say, you know, go and do a press game conference and give up 1 million yards in the run game, kick return for a touchdown, and say things are freaking sunshine and rainbows. You know, you got to put a little urgency in there, and he did, and they went out and responded.
Yeah.
Has a coach ever called you soft?
Who?
Has any coach ever called you soft?
I don't think so. I can't remember a time. Now, you know, maybe like the unit or something, you know, like if there's been some kind of softness communicated, but never like publicly. But it's just a different generation. Like they were tough on you. They would do that to try to pull a string, even if you weren't soft. They try to say you're soft because they knew I would get all pissed off, and then they would, like that's just that's what coaches have to do. They got to find certain buttons to push to make certain guys go. Some guys need to be hurt, hear that stuff, and some guys need to be pampered. So that's what it is.
I'm not soft. It happens. A lot of guys get called soft sometimes.
Yeah.
When they're actually not.
Yeah. I don't know.
Keep going. You wouldn't know. You've definitely never been called soft. I like that you tried to be like, oh yeah, the unit.
Well, you did. Yeah, he did say my unit's been called soft before.
Oh,
I don't know about my unit. I just don't want someone to fucking hear this clip and say, yeah, we called you soft that one time, that 1 year, and I don't fucking remember. So I'm trying to make it gray.
Yeah. Maybe after a little whiskey.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
No, this never happens to me, babe.
Yeah.
Don't call my unit soft.
Yeah, that's listen, Julian, we've all been there. It's okay, but
we watched the film. Everyone knows fucking New England Patriots receivers weren't soft. We were fucking, you guys see everyone blocking the run game, and we were an extension of that run game. We took pride in that. We had 3 fucking rules in New England's receiver room: get open,
I think
catch ball, and block. That was the 3 things you had to fucking do.
Yeah,
I think what Big Cat was about to say was that that's the worst thing you can call.
Yeah, it's the worst thing you can call a team, right? Soft.
I mean, we play a physical sport. This is a physical sport, and toughness goes a long way. You look at the last however many Super Bowl champs; they all had some form of characteristic of toughness in their locker room, or in their play. So I think that would be it'd be a tough, long day if you heard that you were soft.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So, Jules, we're going to run this Friday before week 9.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to go into the past here, but I have to ask about the Tyreek Stevenson, obviously the Hail Mary. When you see that, is that a discipline thing with a football team where it's like, because it's kind of the old coaching thing, like either you're teaching it or you're allowing it to happen. Is that wrong for me to say, oh, as much as Tyreek Stevenson needs blame, that's a coaching matters, and having your guys in the right spot and locked in for 60 minutes matters, and that's kind of like that's a culture thing.
Yeah, if I were to see that when I was playing, I would look at that like if I saw the highlight of that, and I would just say that's just a bad football team. Like, or a young football team. They're young in the mind still. Like they still have good things. And Chicago did some really good things on defense that week or against the Washington Redskins. But like that's competitive stamina. And those are the little things that separate like a good football program from like a team that's still trying to figure out what they are and who they are. Like I don't think would you ever see a Dan Campbell team do that?
No,
probably
no, definitely not.
Would you see, one of the Harbaugh's guys teams do that?
No,
no. You don't. So, and I know Matt Eberflus has walked through that situation probably once a week for the last 23 weeks or however long they've been in OTAs. That's something every team does, and if they don't, we got a problem. So, regardless, whoever's fault it is, it doesn't look good. It looks like a slapdick organization that like act like you've been there, go out and win a game before you win a game, and especially against such a it's a conference opponent. There's a lot riding in that game, even though it's a week 7 game. For your young quarterback that needs a little confidence. You guys go out and win that game. Chicago goes out and wins that game. The confidence of that team's on a different level than what it is right now, and this is when you need to be your most confident. Especially going into the division, which all these teams are going to have to start battling in the division right now. They put themselves in good positions to get to this situation. Like, that's not what you want. So hopefully they can turn it around. I mean, they got young guys. They may be too naive to know how big that moment is and like have short enough memory where they just go. That could be spin zone right there for you.
Yeah. Okay. I like that.
They don't know how big the opportunity they have is right now. So, like, it doesn't matter. You're going to play the same regardless.
Yeah. Yeah,
guys like that that I've played with, you know what I mean? Like, you don't realize, like, hey, it's like You go out and you have a really bad football play, and like it doesn't faze them because they don't realize how big it is, and then they go make a play after. So maybe you do that with Chicago Bears.
So what's the best way to punish a guy like that? How does it happen in the NFL?
I don't know,
in high
man.
school,
Like,
it would just be like he's going to run until he throws
gonna-
up, and it was like, okay, we'll run for a while, and then he won't do it again. But at the NFL, obviously, they're pros; they get treated a little bit differently. There's a CBA, but can you just make somebody run, or do you have to shame them in film room, or how does that work out?
I think he's probably feeling pretty embarrassed right now and feels pretty bad. And you know, the whole team sees that on film. Like that's the most humbling thing as a player is when like I've had plays where, you know, I've been stripped, touchdown, other way against Baltimore. You know, you fumble in a big crucial situation, and that like as a player is like the worst feeling. It's like when you go home. It reminds you a lot of when your mom got your report card and your dad didn't come home yet, and you had like a C or maybe a D plus on that thing, and she didn't tell your dad yet. Like, and then you finally have to. He gets to see it, and you see the react. Like when you see it, that's scary. Like that moment of anticipating the scaredness of what your dad is going to do or say. That's how he's probably feeling going into that film session. So if he loves football, you know, I don't know what the team does. I mean, I'm sure some of the leaders are probably going to have a talk with him. The coach should probably have a talk with them. It depends on what kind of guy he is in the locker room too. Like if this is a thing that occurs a lot, like, and you could see that in just workplace environment. If he's a guy that, you know, thinks his shit doesn't stink and does that kind of shit all the time, they'll probably be tougher on him. If he's a guy that maybe slipped up and, you know, the moment was a little too much for him and he got too excited, you know, maybe he made a mistake. So I don't know what kind of guy the guy is in the building, but I would be terrified going in and having to watch that around my teammates just because of the accountability factor.
Your punishment is you have to take a goal line carry next week from the one. That's probably what Waldron's going to do.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's your punishment.
So, just like a big picture thing.
Touchdown. Fuck, that's no way. Give him that.
The big picture thing in the NFL. Who has been? Are you as high on the Lions as I am? I was trying to ask a question that would get you to talk about the Lions, but I feel like they are the best team in the NFL right now, top to bottom. The Hutchinson injury is obviously devastating for their defense, but I still think that they right now have the best shot at the Super Bowl that they've maybe ever had in the history of their franchise, and I think they're the best team in the NFL. Do you agree with that, or do you think I'm crazy?
I don't think they're the best team in the NFL, but I do think this is the best opportunity that they can go out and have a shot to win the Super Bowl. They're playing really good football. The Hutchinson injury, though, does concern me. Like, against bad football teams, you don't need a pass rush. And with the offensive line that they have, they can control games and keep the other offense off the field. But, you know, the Lions have played so good. They're not in the category of that now. They're at a place where, you know, it's NFC Championship or bust, or it's Super Bowl or bust, because they played themselves in that standard. They played such a good job, and they've shown how good they are. So I'm concerned of those games when they have to play against a Lamar Jackson, maybe in a Super Bowl, or, you know, a Brock Purdy or a Jordan Love. And, you know, when they need to have that 3rd and 8 on defense, can they get off the field? Like, there's going to be a time where you're going to have to do that. And if you can't, man, that's when the big name players make their money, and their names are in those situations, and they don't have any. They have a lot of guys that are working hard, and they play physical and fast, but, you know, they got to find a way to manufacture that. That's how I think. Do you think that they could stop Patrick Mahomes on a 3rd and 8 to clinch the game? I don't think so right now. That's how I think. Like, all these games, that's good, but can you stop them in the red? They need to get 3 points in the red area. They can't give up a touchdown. Can they stop them in the red area? Or could they score a touchdown in the red area? Can Jared Goff go and play from behind? There's a lot of situations we haven't seen. Yes, he played in behind a little bit in that Minnesota game, but I think there was more to that just for the physical factor of Detroit. But they definitely have put themselves in a great situation. I do get a little scared with one thing with the Detroit Lions, though. Dan Campbell. I love him to death. Love Dan Campbell, but he needs to evolve his play calling, his coaching style. He can't act like he's the hunter anymore. He's being hunted. You're the good team. Your culture's in place. We don't have to run a fake punt in the opening drive against a divisional rival on a 4th and 3 on your 35 when you, me, everyone in the goddamn stadium knew it was going to be a fake fucking punt. Like, we can't do that. You don't need to steal a possession anymore. You have a great offense that we're going to score you points. You could do that right now in week 7. You go do that in the playoffs, you'll get eliminated. Good teams will capitalize on those. And so, that's the one thing that worries me with Dan. And I know he floats that line of reckless and aggressive, and he doesn't need to right now. You don't have to. Your team is good enough where you could just sit back and play and let the game unfold itself and use the strengths that you have, and it's going to be enough.
Yeah, no, it's a good point I didn't even think about, because it is true. Like, they do have that scrappy underdog, but they're not anymore. They're the best team in the NFC. Yeah,
we don't need any more fake punts.
I do like it. I like the recklessness.
I loved it when he did it, and he needed it 2 years ago. This is a different team. This is a different year. You have different standards. We don't need that.
The recklessness is fun, though, just as an outsider. Maybe I'd think differently if I was a Lions fan, but watching them and rooting for them, I enjoy it, because you know that Dan Campbell is going to do some fuck shit.
100%.
I don't think that he's not – you're right. He's not going to stop doing it either. It's like, this is who he is, so love him or hate him, he's going to continue to call maybe some unnecessary risks that he doesn't have to take.
100%.
All right, what team right now do you have your eyes on that's maybe 4-4 or 5-3, and you're like, watch out for that?
Rams.
Like, starting to put Rams.
I fucking, ever since I started working on Fox, I watch this NFC so much more. And I live in LA, and watching Matthew Stafford, and I talked about it 3 weeks ago when they played the 49ers. I was like, we had some mariachi, it was Latino month or something, or day. We had the mariachi on the show. And I was like, Matthew Stafford could take this mariachi band out and go and compete. And if you catch him slipping, he'll take advantage and win a game. And that's what he did that week against the Niners. And what those last 3 or 4 kind of hard weeks have been for the Lions have been a great opportunity to gain depth. I mean, now that you're getting Puka back, Cooper's back, they look like a completely different team. Kyron Williams is a stud. They found him in the 5th round. And now you got Tutu Atwells and all these 3, 4, 5 receivers that got a lot of opportunity to get experience in those 4 or 5 weeks that Puka and Coop have been out. So I think they're going to be a tough team. They got a young defense that plays hard. And it's so hard to bet against Matthew Stafford, man. He competes. It doesn't matter who's in the huddle with him. He finds a way to make the game competitive. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, man. He's a stud.
Yes, I've been saying it for a long time. I said it before it was cool, not to brag.
He's one of the most gifted throwers in the football, man.
Yeah,
we always give Aaron, and Aaron deservingly so, but I feel like he's like an Aaron and Mahomes hybrid, where he gets that pop that Aaron got, but he also has been changing arm angles and doing no looks back in Detroit 10, 15 years ago. Just we didn't talk about it because they were getting their teeth kicked in.
Yeah.
So this episode is coming out, I think, the day after Halloween, right?
Yeah.
November 1st.
Yeah.
You were on the Patriots for the Belichick Halloween costume thing, right? Where he dressed up like a pirate.
Yeah.
Tell me about the process behind that, because I remember at the time watching it on TV, and all the players were shocked that Bill Belichick actually did something fun and went all out for Halloween. So what was that like? Did you get the invite to it?
I didn't go. I was a rookie. I think I was a rookie that year, and I was still trying to make the team. I was bouncing around, and I couldn't have fun with the superstars and the coaches yet. So, but it was pretty crazy because we all saw it on the internet the next day, the guys that weren't there. It was pretty or heard about it. Everyone was talking about it. Randy was talking about it. Randy always talked about that Halloween party, but didn't get any inside look. Don't have any info on that. I know he looked like he had a fun time, him and his babe.
Yeah.
You mentioned Rodgers. So this is coming out after the Thursday night game. But what do the Jets do? Is it Aaron Rodgers, or is it everything else around him? Because it's a disaster, an absolute disaster how the season has started for them.
Yeah, it's a tough. I don't know. I've never been in that situation, but whenever things were like State of the Union type, like feelings around the building, and like we thought the sky was falling after like maybe a 2-game slide. Like what you really have to do to get out of that slump, man, we all just got to worry about one game. Can we just stop with the noise every week? Like, we don't want to hear about this. We don't want to hear about that. Like, let's just put all our time and energy and trying to do everything we can to go put our best performance on Sunday for 3 hours. That's all we got to do this week. Okay. If we're receivers, let's go study our third down plan. So when we know it's 3rd and 6, we know we're getting that defensive coverage. We can spit out the play call. We know that's how fast and on a great page we are. Let's worry about our job. Like that's all they got to do. And it's tougher, I guess, said than done. And I can't explain a lot of the actions and what they've done. They put a lot of. It's kind of like, it's kind of like one of those. Have you seen those rubber things where you watch those infomercials and you see the guy slaps the thing on the boat, has a hole in it, and it stops the water? I just don't
Flex Seal.
Yeah, one of those. You
need Flex Seal.
I think that stuff works though.
It definitely works.
Like, yeah, I have seen the commercials. The guy that like builds a canoe out of it.
You know what I thought about? And I'm gonna catch some slack for this, but the way the organizations are ran in the last few years, and the Jets are like, I'd say like the Oakland Raiders, the West Coast Jets, or the Raiders, the East Coast, or the Jets, the East Coast Raiders. Like they just these organizations just seem like they do such desperate moves so fast. Like they do the same shit. Is it not synonymous?
Like hiring Tom Brady as an owner?
No, I think that's going to change it, baby.
There you go.
No, it's.
I said last few years. Did you hear what? You see how I worded that?
That was very smart.
Not now.
It's
not now. Raiders Nation should be excited.
It's the teams that try shortcuts. There's no shortcut to winning in the NFL. You got to build a roster through the draft and free agency, not just free agency, not just that. Like you just can't do shortcuts.
You got to put deposits, bro.
Yeah.
You got to put deposits. You got to put it in the bank, as Belichick would say. Put it in the fucking bank. Run the hill. These are just deposits.
A lot of times around this time of the season, I look around the NFL and I just imagine like what the most bummer teams to play for would be. Like punching that clock, going into work every day. You don't really have – you have to like invent reasons to be excited.
Is that a question?
Would they be number one? Because I feel like there's a handful of teams that I think would be bummers to play for in various different ways. But you think the Panthers number one?
Yeah, dude. It looks. I don't know, man. It's tough over there, and I feel bad because they're working hard. They just don't know how to work, probably, or whatever they're doing. It's not right. But they're professional athletes, and they're working. I guarantee they're working hard. That's got to be so tough to try to go into work and put a good practice in and string together 3 or 4 good practices and then get your teeth kicked in every Sunday. That would be tough. That would be tough. I've never experienced that in my career. I felt that at Kent State.
Yeah.
I felt that at Kent, but we were always dangerous. We were a dangerous team. We weren't getting blown out so we weren't even like the Panthers, man. We'd go battle some big teams. We beat a BCS team at Kent State. We beat Iowa State back in the day. So, we were that dangerous team. I would say we were more like Arizona. We were more like Arizona, where if they put it all together, they don't turn the ball over. They got some really good football players, and the quarterback is athletic and can make some plays. But if he turns it over, it's not good.
So what about a team that had expectations that hasn't lived up to them? I'm speaking more like the Cowboys. If you're on a team like that, they seem like they would be a bummer to play for right now, but for a very different reason than the Panthers, who just, they were rebuilding. They kind of knew that, didn't have a lot of expectations. But down in Dallas, things just seem like the vibes are way off.
Yeah, stress seems high. Stress levels in the building are high right now. You can feel it. I feel it. That's one of those positions where – they're the Dallas Cowboys. They're always going to have that microscope. And There are certain things they could have addressed at the end of the year that maybe I don't know. I'm not in the books. I don't know how their team's built. But, when you pay, high top dollar for 3 or 4 players, you usually lose depth, or you can't have that mid player guy that is very productive, so I just think there's a whole lot that goes into that. They're off, I think they need to find a running game. That's how Dak has had all his success. It's always been off the play action. Let's stay ahead of our count, and not to have, running back that can handle that and that they can build off of. I was a little disappointed. So they got to find a way to manufacture some run. I know Dalvin Cook came out, but he looks a little, he needs a couple more.
Maybe
reps.
maybe Hunter Lepke season.
What?
Lepke, their fullback.
Hey,
you seen that guy?
Yeah,
that's a dog.
Dog.
We'll see.
Dog. Run with the dog.
Hey,
is Bill Bell?
They're a little too. That whole team. San Francisco's kind of disappointed me too, though. Honestly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like that's also injuries.
Say that again.
That's also injuries and the weird stuff going to training camp. But yeah, they feel like they're way better than their record, and they should be able to put some more games together.
Yeah, this is National Football League. I mean, Kansas City's had a lot of big injuries over there. May not have been on the defensive side, but on offense, and they've had the mental toughness to find ways to win games. I think that's clearly what it is in San Fran. Man, I love them. They're a good football team. I root for them. That's my childhood team. But, they act like they've already won the Super Bowl. The way they play and stuff to me. They need a little more mental toughness. There's always a story out there. Someone's hurt, someone's shot, someone's this, someone's that. Guy's not playing, wants more money. This guy... there's so many things that go on over there. How could you not have a bad season? How can you focus on the games? We don't focus on anything but what's going on outside the game. That's what I feel, over there. Yeah, you guys are banged up. Yeah, you don't have Christian McCaffrey, but let's fucking put our energy in. Let's go take this opportunity and make some names. That's what you have to do in the National Football League if you're a good football team. And that's why you look at Kansas City, they're dealing with the same shit, and they find ways to win games, even when the quarterback's not playing, even when Pat's not playing that great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a team
what about
thing.
in Pittsburgh?
That's a team thing. Sometimes the offense ain't putting up the points. Defense looks at you and say, hey, boys, we got you. Hey, we got you. Just don't turn that shit over. All right, man, we got you. There's sometimes with the defense, hey, we got you. You guys can't stop a lick right now. We're going to score points. That's what a good team does. Finds ways. Yeah. Special teams. Hey, we need a fucking touchdown. Let's get one. Team's in need right now. We don't got shit.
That's exactly why I like Pittsburgh, because I feel like Pittsburgh's defense has been saying to their offense for years, we got you. We'll go out there. We'll keep it interesting for you. Pittsburgh, and now that their offense is maybe we'll get you a little bit.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's sneaky, man. Hey, you got to tip your cap to Tomlin to have the balls to do what he's done, and it looks like it's working out. Because Russ, that team right now reminds me and gives me I'm not saying they are, but it's like those Legion of Boom Super Bowl teams. Russ Wilson throws a teardrop here, deep ball there. He's got an explosive receiver to get a good run game and play really good defensive special teams. That's how they won in Seattle. So, Russ is hopefully he can build off this. He's not going to have the same kind of running that he did in those days, but maybe he's learned to be able to dump the ball off, in which he has these last couple games, and they've looked pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have.
They're 5-2, man.
5. Wait, no.
Are they 5-2?
6-2.
6-2.
Top of the AFC North. Yeah.
I mean, that's fucking. Talk about a team that just ignores the noise. Talk about a team that we don't even got a goddamn starting quarterback at the beginning of the year, and we got all these stories. Who's the quarterback? Who's not? This guy's getting traded at receiver. This, that, and what? They're 6-2. That's a good football team. That's a football team right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking earlier about their record on Monday Night Football. I think they're 22-0 in their last 22 games at home on Monday night.
Who?
Is there a difference? Can you feel a difference in a game that's played at night versus a game that's played at 1 p.m. on a Sunday?
100%. Night games, you feel the electricity. Sunday night football, Monday night football. Those, it's crazy. It used to be early in my career, like Monday night football was the thing. That was like you wanted it. It was like the only show on. And then later Sunday night football kind of caught up to it, and that became where everyone was at the. It's the nightcap. Like that's where everyone's watching, and there's definitely a lot more electricity in those night games, especially with the matchups you usually have in those games. They're going to put a crappy game on one of those in theory. So it's always been fun to play in those night games. When everyone's watching, watching. We played a lot of those.
All right. Well, Jules, I know you got to run in a second. I have one last question for you. Everyone tune into Dudes on Dudes, also Games with Names. We're gonna have Gronk and Jules back on in a month and talk some more ball with them. But my last question, rowback question, rhoback.com, promo code TAKE, 20% off your first purchase, Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts, rowback.com, promo code TAKE. Is Bill Belichick going to coach again?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so that's a hell yeah. That's definite. Like he's doing great at media.
Yeah.
And you got to probably be a little like, what the hell is this? He's way nicer than he was when he was our coach, but he's not lost. He's definitely going to coach again.
Last few weeks, if you notice, he's been getting a little. I always said early in the thing, it's all sunshine rainbows with Bill on the media. Real good TV and real good podcasting will be put on like there's 20 worst plays in fucking that weeks of football, and then have him break down that film, and you've kind of seen a little bit of that recently. That's real entertainment. This like fun stuff that's not fun, but I think he's been doing great. But I do think he loves football and he wants to coach, man. I think this could be all part of his master trick of trying to get back in, show that he's like young and cool, and like that's part of his plan. But I think he wants that record. I don't know. He's never told me. I'm speaking for myself, Coach Belichick, so don't be coming at me. But yeah, if I was a gambling man, I think he'd be.
I think he wants that record.
And he's what? 14?
I absolutely.
Yeah,
I love how much he hates bad football.
Oh,
it's the best. Yeah, he's just disgusted by it.
Who was he talking about? I got flashbacks. Who was he talking about? It was something to do with the Jets. He don't like the Jets.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't.
No, he hates
He
the
don't
Jets.
like the Jets.
Yeah.
And he's got grudges, which I appreciate.
Look, this guy
man.
comes in, he's been off the field, runs past the quarterback every time. You hear it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're starting to get a little
Contain,
taste.
yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff. My last question for you, Jules. I don't know if you've seen maybe my favorite new TV show, but it's the Aaron Hernandez American Sports Story that they've got on FX. Have you had the chance to watch it? Because they put you on. You were in the TV show. I don't know if you know that they reenacted one of your scenes where you caught a little pass out in the flat and then ran and got tackled immediately. I think you actually bobbled the pass on the TV show.
I think it's kind of true. Yeah,
you think you bobbled that one?
I hurt Aaron on that play. I got rolled up. They sniffed it out, and it was basically like we spread it out. It was a stack position. He threw it out to me like a slip screen or something like that, and they read it. It was 3-on-2, so they dove in, and he really, I don't think he really blocked him, or he didn't block anyone. The guy came in. I fell up on his ankle and fell. I didn't look that unathletic though. I looked pretty athletic doing it.
Well, I saw in the reenactment that they did, you didn't even catch the ball cleanly. You bobbled it a few times. And then I went back and I watched the real thing. You caught your pass cleanly. I thought that was kind of fucked up that they did that to you.
Was it? I don't even remember if I caught it cleanly.
Yeah, I think you did. I think it was a great catch, and they made you look like a schmuck.
Yeah.
But yeah, you probably enjoy watching it. They do a great job portraying Welker. Wes Welker has a very significant part in that show.
I haven't even watched. I've watched a couple of the clips. I watched probably the shit you guys post.
The Belichick scene was the best.
Yeah, that I saw that scene.
Bon Jovi, yeah.
Back if he hasn't got the balls to ask him if he does it yet. You gotta ask him. I don't think he did it, but maybe he did. No. Maybe they had inside track. Maybe Belichick was rocking out to Bon Jovi, who was in the locker room a bunch. He's a friend of the organization. Bill and the Crafts.
All right. Well, Jules, thank you. We love you. And we'll talk to you soon. And you keep crushing it. 2 podcasts now.
Hey, let's go. Hey, man, keep your head up, Bubs. Keep your head
up. Dudes on dudes.
Dudes on dudes.
Jules is brought to you by Duke Cannon. Maybe you've seen Duke Cannon products in Target, Walmart, or your local hardware store. If not, let me introduce you. Duke Cannon makes a variety of men's grooming goods. Big-ass bricks of soap, thick body wash, beard care stuff, colognes, and hair wash. They also donate money to veterans. Each year through the Duke Cannon Veterans Fund, simply put, they give a damn, and their products work hard. They smell terrific. Most of the year, I like their Sawtooth thick body wash. It's really good. In the fall, their Buffalo Trace soaps are amazing. Get a little whiskey in your soap. But during the holiday season, which is pretty much here, I put their big-ass lump of Cole soap on my wish list. It's a holiday classic like Die Hard. Shop now at DukeCannon.com, Amazon, in Target, or at Walmart. They're everywhere. Go forth, save up to 20% on Yuletide soap bundles and gift sets. The products, the packaging, you won't find better gifts for the men on your list this year. Check them out, DukeCannon.com. And now, here's Bruce Arians.
Okay, we now welcome on a very special guest, recurring guest. It is Coach Bruce Arians, Super Bowl champion coach, legend of the game. Coach, great to see you, first of all. We've been friends with you now for, we were saying like 6-7 years, so you are fully retired-ish. Ish. Let's start with that. How is fully retirement-ish? Because when we saw you, you still had a Super Bowl to win.
Oh yeah, it was still go time back then. You know? And now it's after the first year, I went to practice every day, went to the games, and had that little incident down in New Orleans where I wasn't on the sidelines anymore. But I felt I was around too much. You know, I had guys looking at me, not Todd, and I gave the team to Todd. It's your team, man. Let's go. So I went to the lake the last couple of years, and I didn't know golf in the fall was so much fun, man. It's pretty cool.
Do you still watch all the games? You sit down on Sunday?
I've got all 4 of them on at the same time. You know, that's being broadcast, and I love the game.
Yeah,
I really do. I hate not being a part of it, but it was time for me to get out.
Yeah. So I know that was probably a tough decision for you because you've been off and on retired. I feel like how many times did you walk away from coaching? Like 5?
Just twice.
Just twice, but then you felt like twice officially. But then I'm sure that there were promises behind the scenes where you're like, I swear this is my last year, honey. You know. But so when you officially retired, walked away. Did you think about coming back one more time this time?
No, actually I had a dream the other night. And I took a job, and I woke up sweating. Like, what the fuck? It's like a nightmare. My wife said, you had a nightmare. I said, yeah, it was a nightmare. I was coaching again.
Jameis just threw another interception. We love Jameis. We're big fans of Jameis Winston on this podcast. I know that as a coach, you probably loved him at times, and other times probably made you want to pull your hair out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of Jameis. I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah.
It's one thing, and no one works harder. You know, he and I go – well, I had this little football camp in Birmingham way back, my son and I, and Jameis won the quarterback competition in 10th grade.
Oh, wow.
So I've known him forever. And the legend of Jay Boo in Birmingham is big, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always been a fan, and it was one of the reasons I kept back in coaching. You know, I love Jason Light. I like Tampa's situation. I thought we could win with Jameis. And I think staying with Byron Leftwich did with him that first year, 5,100 yards, 33 touchdowns, the 30 interceptions would have come down.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 2, we had to look behind door number 2.
Yeah.
It was just the last 2.
Yeah.
And not knowing behind door number 2 is going to be Tom Brady.
Right.
You know, or we're stick with Jameis and make him better.
Yeah. We're rooting for him whenever he gets in. And
I was happy for him this week.
Yeah. And at the end of the game, he had the good Jameis and the bad Jameis on his last 2 throws.
Oh, that's him.
But you know what? When the good is good with Jameis, it's excellent.
Oh, there's hardly any better.
Yeah,
he can make throws very few people can make.
What was it like when you made the switch from Jameis to Tom Brady, where it's like Tom Brady comes in and he's Tom Brady. He's got 6 Super Bowl rings at the time. And you're the coach, it's your team, but that's a crazy amount of, a pull of gravity with Tom Brady in the locker room. Did you feel it when he came?
No, because we couldn't be in the locker room.
Oh yeah, that's true. COVID.
COVID hit in March, and so we don't even. My wife met Tom Brady for the first time on the stage at the Super Bowl.
Holy shit!
That's how crazy that year was.
Wow, that was a crazy year.
And to play those games in empty stadiums, and we pull into Chicago, we pull into New York. It's night game, and there's no energy.
Right. Mm-hmm.
It took a long time to get used to that.
Yeah.
And but no, so with Tom, it was like, thank God Blaine would they would all go over to the Yankees facility and start throwing, and Blaine Gabbert was basically giving him the offense, and this is how we do it. And he says, can you run a route different? Can you run it like this? I like it better this way. And I told Blaine, whatever he likes, good. We'll fix it. And so we don't meet till the first day of training camp.
Yeah.
And no preseason games, and it was such a weird year, man.
Yeah. And immediately in training camp, did you know, okay, this guy's still got it?
Oh, we knew he had it. We broke down every throw he made for the last 3 years. I didn't see any drop off.
Yeah.
And so he was never. He was extremely mobile inside the pocket, just like Peyton. But you would never say Tom's going to run anywhere. So, that was our offense anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We're just getting him to push it up the field a bit further than he was normally used to.
Yeah, the no risk it, no biscuit. He probably enjoyed that though when you said,
really
hey,
did.
we're gonna start bombing this.
It really did, and it really came to fruition in the most meaningful game. We're at Atlanta. We got to win to get in, and we're down 17-0 at halftime. It's like, hey, Tommy, JPP's taking care of the defense right now. He's going off over there, right? We're throwing the ball down the field every play. Here's the home runs. Here's the play actions. We're playing this way till the season's over. He said, I'm in. And we scored every time we touch it in the second half and end up winning that game, get the touchdown in Green Bay at halftime, we get the touchdown in the Super Bowl at halftime. It's just the way we played, and he embraced it. It was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Has there ever been a time when you've had you've had to hold yourself back and be like, I can't take as many deep shots? Because I know that you are in love with the deep ball. It's your favorite play. You love bombing it deep. You select your quarterbacks based on who can who can throw the ball downfield. Has there been a time where you've had to hold yourself back and be like, I need to change the way that I coach, and we can't take shots downfield?
No, because every shot we take downfield is a smart shot. There's a short pass in it. There's an intermediate pass in it. But if we got the matchup downtown for the 30-yarder or the touchdown, don't pass it up for that short one.
Yeah.
All right? But you got to be smart about it. And all the guys that I've had, that's really the no risk it, no biscuit part, okay, is to read it out. Know when it's time to throw it up there. And we threw a lot of balls down the field, but they were a lot of times in 5-step drops, not 7-step drops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, like going through your career, it's so incredible how many Hall of Famers you were around. And one guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, Mike Evans, we're on this podcast, we're big on like, hey, people need to talk about Mike Evans more because he is getting into that rarefied air of receiver. Obviously, he's hurt right now, but what is it about Mike Evans? Like, he's just every year it's 1,000 yards. It's insane.
Yeah, my man is so consistent. Works great. He's a great worker. Fantastic human being. He's been the Walter Payton Man of the Year for the Bucs 2 or 3 times, and what he does in the community way outshines what he does on the field.
Yeah,
I mean, he's that good. But he is such a unique big man. He's 6'5". His weight is down, but he can drop his hips and he can get in and out of breaks, and can make that long man catch.
Yeah.
As a quarterback, when you're throwing it to a 5'7" guy whose circle might be this big, and you're throwing to a guy that's 6'6", that's easy for a quarterback, man. And especially when we can drop it over shoulder or put it up high on the back shoulder, he can make all those catches.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were talking before we started taping here about you recommended a book to me, Best Assistant Coach Ever by Tom Moore. Legendary assistant coach. You were an assistant coach for almost all your career until the end, and then you finally got your shot first as interim with the Colts, the Cardinals, and then obviously the Bucs. But you were one of the best assistant coaches in the NFL, I feel like, for decades. Is there a quality? Because we talk about backup quarterbacks and what their job is and how they might have a different role than a starting quarterback, but you can be a great backup quarterback. With a great assistant coach, like what makes the difference between a guy that can stick around for 10, 12 years being a great assistant and a guy that's just viewing that job as like a transaction to get to the next level?
Yeah, I think Coach Bryant gave me a great advice way back. you get a job, you want a better job, you work your ass off at this job to get a better job until you get that job you're looking for. Then you work your ass twice as hard to keep it. You know, and for me, I didn't really think I'd ever be a head coach. You know, after Super Bowl 43, Steelers offensive coordinator, we go down the field, 2-minute drive and win the game. I didn't get one phone call.
That's crazy.
All right. Every other offensive coordinator for the Steelers got a head coaching job after that. And so I was like, it's not in the cards. And, you know, it took Chuck getting sick, which is a shame, that I got a chance. And I never, ever allowed myself to be called the head coach. Chuck was always the head coach. And what that team did, if you put that team on paper, you'd say they win 2 games. Rookie quarterback, 2 rookie tight ends, rookie receivers, rookie running back, rookie left tackle, all right, and guys coming off the street playing defense. And they win 11 because they had a cause. And that cause was Chuck.
Yeah.
You know, and we rallied. We never said 1, 2, 3 win. It was always 1, 2, 3 Chuck.
Yeah.
You know, and so I always thought if you gave professional athletes a real cause to play for, sky's the limit.
Yeah. So why weren't you getting calls until that point?
I don't know. I did all the interviews. Maybe a little too outspoken.
Was that it?
You know,
when you would do an interview, would you always hit a moment where you say you speak your mind and you're like, oh shit, that probably went bad.
I never had one, but I would have.
Okay, yeah. I mean,
I did the NFL films. I mean, the NFL Network thing they do for prospective head coaches, and basically, so I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth.
Right.
You know, the truth hurts sometimes, but you're going to get the truth every time.
And that was your problem.
That's what happened with the Bears, where maybe
I was sitting in the room waiting to get the call. I thought I had the job.
I did too.
You know, and I think there were a couple different things that were involved in that one.
Is there a fake press conference involved?
Yeah.
Is that what they wanted to do?
And we did a whole press conference. Yeah, there was like 20 or 30 of their people out there, and you know, I had gotten sick the week of the Baltimore game with vertigo out of nowhere. I think it was the stress of the season, to tell you the truth, because I never had it since. And the guy kept harping on it. I was like, man, I'm fucking fine.
Yeah,
you know, I'm good, you know. So it's like, had a long meeting with Jay Cutler that day, and I had a real long meeting with Rod Marinelli. And, you know, Rod, they kept saying Rod was staying. And I said, no, Todd Bowles is going to be the defensive coordinator. And I think that was the deciding factor.
Yeah.
And Rod told me, I'm not staying.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, it's some organizations don't, they're just kind of getting their own way with those type of things. Where it's like,
yeah, they had that defense for a long time, want to stay with it. And,
and they just they can't line things up correctly. So I want to go back your relationship with Bear Bryant. How did you get Alabama to come to Temple? Because Alabama played a game at Temple when you were the coach. That's crazy. Alabama doesn't go to Temple.
Yeah.
So what happened to get that to happen? And did fans show up?
We had about 30,000 Alabama fans.
Okay.
And our normal 8,000 Temple fans, you know. And it was the opener, and well, they were good too. I mean, Bill Curry was the head coach, I believe, then. And but yeah, it was you know, when I took the job, I talked to the assistant athletic director and said, look, we'll come down there twice. You come to us once. And Coach, this was right before Coach passed away. He said, let's do it. You know, and so it was a big moment because we had scheduled Nebraska, Tennessee. I tried to copy everything that Miami did with Howard Schnellenberger, being an inner city school. Try to get the local talent and go play the best and get on television.
Yeah.
You know, and it kind of worked for us.
Yeah. I mean, it's just so funny thinking of Alabama playing at Temple.
All that houndstooth in Philadelphia showing up for a road trip.
Yeah. It's just a wild thing.
That'd be a good one. And then I think a lot of people might not realize this, but I think you're still the all-time leading touchdown scorer for quarterbacks at Virginia Tech. Is that right?
Yeah, that you can win a lot of money with that bet.
You get a lot of money. I think everybody would say. I think it would go Michael Vick, Marcus Vick, maybe Logan Thomas,
Tyrod Taylor,
but
Jim Druckenmiller.
Yeah, but
a bunch of them.
But it's Bruce Arians, and people forget about that. So, how did you realize that you wanted to get into coaching after you were a pretty accomplished college quarterback?
I was a good scout team quarterback. Don Strock was accomplished. You talk about backup quarterbacks, man. My man is probably the best that's ever been. Backed Don up for a couple of years, and then, we switched coaches and went to the Wishbone. It was kind of found my offense. We were a Dan Henning passing team and leading the nation in passing, and Coach Sharp came in from Alabama, and we put in the Wishbone. I had actually was going to graduate and applied for 2 junior high jobs. I didn't get either one, or I'd have never gone back.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then met the new coach. We hit it off, and he really jump-started my career.
Yeah.
He started me in coaching. He got me to Alabama with Coach Bryant his last 2 years. And Jimmy Sharp, I owe everything to Jimmy Sharp, one of the greatest coaches I've ever known.
What was the maddest that Peyton Manning ever was at you? Would he get mad at you?
No. Peyton was as even-keeled as a player.
Yeah.
Now, if he was going to get mad, it's because I didn't have enough film. I didn't have enough meeting time ready for him. If we had 45 minutes, I scheduled 2 hours worth.
Yeah.
Now, the other 2 poor son bitches couldn't take notes that fast. Poor Kelly Holcomb's like, man, I can't write that damn fast. Peyton he's writing everything down. He had books and books of notes. And but yeah, I had a lot of fun doing the Manning cast last year, and Eli said, do you rather be introduced as Super Bowl 55 winning head coach or the quarterback coach who led Peyton Manning to 28 interceptions his rookie year? I said, I'm going to take those 28, man, because I saw us get better, and they all got erased, and we went 13-3 the next year.
That Peyton Manning season screws up everyone else because they always point to it, and they're like, well, Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions. Like, but he's Peyton Manning. And you said it, you got better every single week.
I think 18 to 20 were in the first 8 to 10 games.
Yeah.
And then as we went through the division again, they were disappearing.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're 3-13, but man, it's fun to go to practice every day because we saw ourselves getting better every single week,
Yeah.
And in today's NFL, I feel like if a quarterback goes out there, hell, we've seen a couple guys that in their first couple seasons, you just say, okay, I can't do it with this guy. He makes too many mistakes, throws too many turnovers. But 28 interceptions in a rookie season, if that happened now, I feel like people would be calling for him to be benched before he even got to 28.
He'd be benched after 15.
Yeah.
They don't give him the chance to learn.
So how did you buy time? How did you convince people like, hey, Peyton's on the right track. He's going to work through this. The talent's there. We just got to give him some time to work it out.
I give all the credit to the 2 leaders. We had 2 of the best leaders in all of football. We had Bill Polian, a general manager, and Jim Moore as head coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't get any better than those 2. And they were a great pair together. So it's just, this is who we are. This is what we're going to do. And the fans were coming. It wasn't like the fans were like booing us or getting us out. They saw us getting better and better, and the hope was already there.
Yeah.
And it came to fruition like that the next year.
Yeah. So is there any quarterback? I guess I'm thinking in particular of Bryce Young and Anthony Richardson, 2 guys that their teams have kind of said, okay, we can't win with these guys right now. We need to be able to compete with the backups. Do you see anything from those players that would make you, as an offensive coach, say there might be something there?
Oh, I saw Bryce win a national championship with maybe better players than he's playing with now.
Yeah.
When you look at the receivers he had at Alabama, he can do it. He's shown he can do it in the right system. His stature scared me because when you start doing comparables, which I did for 27 years, I'd always break down all the quarterbacks, and I wouldn't say he's like this guy, but his measurables were like this guy.
Yeah.
All right. There weren't any Bryces. There weren't any Johnny Manziels at that size and stature that made it in the NFL. Doug Flutie took years in Canada to get there.
Yeah.
So Anthony, I think the Colts got caught up in what happened with Jalen Hurts in Philly. They hire Shane. They're going to copy that. But Anthony's stats didn't match.
Right.
His ability and all, but ability doesn't make a quarterback. Now you got to win 2-minute third down. I don't give a shit how fast you run, how high you jump. Cam in his young years could win 2-minute third down until he got all broken up from running.
Yeah.
And his arm was gone. But if you can't show me that you can do that in college, to me, you're not a quarterback. You're an athlete, and athletes play in college.
Yeah.
And they spread the field and they just tear people up.
Yeah.
But he didn't exactly tear people up in college.
Yeah.
You know, it was just combine superstar.
It's all like when he was in college, you saw a lot of the same things that you see in the NFL, where it's like this guy, he's got all the tools. This
He's
guy
got the
could
flashes,
be a great quarterback,
right? But it's not the consistency.
It's like mental processing.
He has the arm strength, he has the leg speed, but that's not how you play quarterback.
Yeah.
The two muscles you play quarterback with are your heart and your brain.
I like that. I like
so,
that.
So do you think like the Colts? What do you think the future is? Because in terms of like benching a guy after he's started 8 games or something like that, that's got to be a confidence thing now, where you're taking that away and like, can you go back to him? Are you giving up on him? How does that work?
I don't think you can give up. You got too much invested already. It's just a matter of let's get to the playoffs this year, and let's continue to grow him. You know, maybe he can learn some more. Give him some snaps in practice. Maybe give him a package to play in a game. But you got to ride with Joe right now to get you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
If you get in the playoffs, all bets are off, man. You can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. You know, I've been 6th seed at 2 different places, went on the road and won them all, and got the ring. So anything can happen. You just got to get there.
Yeah.
And Joe gives them probably the best chance to get there right now, and that's going to save the locker room because players all want to go to the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. So I asked about Peyton. What about Ben? Was there ever a moment where he was really pissed at you?
A bunch.
Yeah? What would he get mad about?
The way I was cussing out the receivers. Man, you ever talk to me like that? I said, why would I talk to you like that? These are the receivers, man. You're the quarterback.
Yeah.
All right. So when I first took over as coordinator, we'd play golf and we'd have that conversation. Like, hey, man, you're going to yell at me like you yell at those guys? I said, don't make me. I don't think you're going to make me.
Yeah.
And so no, we've always had a great – he always loves telling the story. I'd always chew out the backup quarterback for the starter. Like Drew Stanton, he can tell the stories. Charlie Batch, Byron Leftwich. And I had my hand on the button, not knowingly, to Ben. I was like, Charlie, what the fuck is he thinking, man? Can you get his ass straight? Okay, Ben, here's what we're going to do, buddy. He loves telling that story. He's like, really? You got your hand on the button, dude. I can hear you. Andrew Luck tells the exact same story. So
you would do it through the backup quarterback.
Oh, you rip the backup quarterback's ass all the time.
Yeah.
No one, like you got a filter. A filter built in. It's like
Drew Stanton finally went, I got it, man. I got it. I got him.
To play backup quarterback for Bruce Arians, you have to be able to translate Bruce Arians to the starting quarterback.
Totally.
And have like a cool demeanor to you.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert, Drew Stanton, those Charlie Batch, Byron Leftwich, those are all those kind of guys, man.
Yeah. So I know that when Tom was up in New England, he got famously kind of tired of being rubbed the wrong way by the coaching staff or treated differently by the coaching staff up there. When Tom came down to Tampa, did you have to treat him differently from the other players because he's Tom Brady and he's got all the Super Bowl rings already, or did you make a point to say, I'm going to cuss him out in the meetings just like I cuss everybody else out?
Yeah, I mean, he knew me. He'd already done his homework. He talked to Ben, he talked to Peyton, and they're good friends. And so it's like, Tommy, this is how we do it. All right, tell me how you see the game. You know, without spring that year, it was so hard to get a feel for how he saw the game. Mm-hmm. You know, we couldn't have those meetings and go through the game film and the practice film and see it. We were on such a crash course of how I saw the game, which was totally different than the way he saw the game. And as we're going along through the season, we started seeing it the same way. And Byron Leftwich did an unbelievable job with our offense that year, being the middleman.
Yeah. So what was there a game or a moment that you were like, oh, this is now we're now lockstep. We got this.
Yeah, it was halftime of a Falcons game. I think we're 7-5. We got to have it. We're down 17-zip. And
that was it,
bro. We're cutting it loose from here on out.
Yeah,
you know, no more check downs, baby. We're going down to. We got to score every time we touch it, and that's kind of the way we played it all the way through the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
I know that you have a deep hatred for prevent defense. It's bad defense.
It's bad.
And I want to give you permission to maybe educate us, maybe talk to us, maybe over our heads a little bit, but get it as detailed as you want on why you hate prevent defense so much.
Well, first of all, it's normally zone, and a really good quarterback will pick zone apart. And if you're only rushing 3, all right, I don't care how many zones you think you have covered. He's got the answers.
Right.
He got the answer to that test.
Yeah.
if the great quarterbacks know what you're doing, you're done. You know, let me go back to Pittsburgh, Cleveland. We talked earlier. We got a 17-point lead in the playoffs. Kelly Holcomb is playing lights out, and we decided to play prevent defense from the middle of the third quarter on, and blow a 17-point lead to Tommy Maddox, who will light you apart without a pass rush. And they came back and beat us. And I've always, no risk and no biscuit for me goes to defense too.
Yeah.
When I was the head coach at Temple, game got tight. I only knew one call: all out blitz cover 0. Go sick them.
Yeah.
and I'd get on them. No, coach, I don't give a shit if we go down. We're going down with the guns blazing, baby. And that's how we play.
So for you, it's more about the overall philosophy, the overall mentality.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at Detroit blitz the Hail Mary the other day, sack them.
Yeah.
All right. It's a great play. Still had a bunch of guys back there, but go ahead and get the pressure on them. And I see Chicago and Washington do the exact opposite and give them a chance at that damn play, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ultimate, I mean, even the play before that.
Yes.
The ultimate prevent defense.
Yeah.
You go ahead, you take these 14 yards.
Yeah.
Have at it.
Yeah, you're just preventing yourself from winning. That's all
Basically,
it is.
you're giving them a chance.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the back to the Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young thing. There's been a big discussion, especially this week, that like the NFL is now failing quarterbacks and guys are not getting enough time, and that maybe the college game has affected guys' like development. Do you see that at all, or is it just? I think it's simply there's some guys that can now play till their 30s, late 30s, and there's only 32 spots, and guess what? It's a really, really hard thing to break into.
Totally. Sports science has changed it. You know, guys are playing 40, 45 years old, and there's no drop-off.
Right.
Because of the sports science we have now. And but I think more guys are coming out of college as passers than ever before because of high school 7-on-7s and 7-on-7s around the AAU and everything that we have in the passing game from 10th grade on, you know. So the passers are there. Now, are we developing them mentally, all right, to read a whole defense, or just is it half-field shit and 1-2 run? Too much 1-2 run?
Yeah.
You know, because they're putting the best athletes back there.
Yeah.
And so it's like 1-2 to take off. Well, that does win in college. I'm not against that, but it doesn't necessarily win in the NFL.
Yeah, you got to win from the pocket. Like Lamar, it's saying like, oh yeah, Lamar Jackson is a one-of-one unicorn, and he can beat you with his arm too.
Lamar can spin it coming out of college.
Right.
It was a little bit raw, but when I look at him and Michael Vick, I thought he spun it more accurately than Mike did coming out. Now Mike got better. Lamar's there now.
Yeah.
And Todd Monken's done a great job with that offense and his development of as a pocket passer. It's just pick your poison, man. You gonna let him throw those zone plays, or you're gonna bump out there and let him take off up the middle,
right?
Because he's gonna gain more up the middle than you let him throw that little screen pass out there.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, it's hard. Like you can't replicate Lamar Jackson. That's the other thing.
No, and then now, if you rock the coverage, they do so many good things offensively, but now you got a number one player back there. You know, they got a number one pick back there that they didn't used to have.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I'm thinking about what's going on in San Francisco a lot because Brock Purdy kind of came out of nowhere, Mr. Irrelevant. We all watched him in college. Seemed like a different player, honestly, since he's gotten to the NFL. He's improved quite a bit. But they're going to have to make a decision out there on how much you're going to pay Brock Purdy. And to me, I think if you take away the fact of him being drafted so late, if you just look at how he's played since he's been in the NFL, I think that you have to treat the guy like he's a top 10 quarterback. You have to pay him, big dollars. And those Brock Purdy's don't necessarily grow on trees. But from your eye, while you're watching him play, what is it about Brock that makes him stand out from every other quarterback that might not have, maybe they've got the same kind of generic type measurables come out of college, but there's something different about Brock that lets him excel at the NFL level?
I think he's always had what I call grit.
Yeah.
He's a winner, and he won at Iowa State. Not surrounded by great talent, but good, Bryce Hall and some of those guys. But so when he gets in the right system, which he's in the perfect system for him, and I don't think he's a system quarterback, but not necessarily could he play in other offenses that push it way down the field. He's in the perfect thing with Kyle, who's going to run the ball well, have play action, keep it between the numbers. is he a $300 million quarterback? I can't answer that one.
Because then it takes away some of the other pieces. Yeah.
And it does seem like he's the perfect quarterback for that system, and the system is perfect for a quarterback just like him. So it's almost like they need each other at the same level.
It's a great marriage. Now, how much do you have to ransom the farm to keep the guys around him?
Yeah.
Are the guys around him as helping him as much be good, or is he good on his own?
Right.
Yeah. Is there any quarterback in the league right now that you look at and you're like, I would like to coach that guy?
Oh, there's probably 10. Yeah, I mean, this young group that has come out in the last 5 or 6 years. I would have loved to have coached. I love Baker. I mean, he's my kind of guy too, and but Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, you can go on and on.
Yeah.
Lamar. I mean, your imagination can go run wild when you have a guy that can do a couple things. He can beat you from the pocket, but he's also lethal running the ball. Now, not going to put him. If you put him in harm's way too much, harm's coming. So you got to be very, very measurable on how much harm's way you put him in.
Yeah. We have Stephen Shea, diehard Bucks fan, in the booth. I think you've met him. Steven. Steven, I told Steven to come in here because I was like, hey, if you have a couple questions for Coach, and I'm sure he does. So, Steven, go ahead. This is your Super Bowl winning head coach right here.
Yeah. Thank you for the sweatshirt. I'm rocking the Super Bowl 55 championship merch
there
right
you go,
now.
baby.
Of course.
So you're involved in, as the head coach, obviously you're involved a lot in the draft, and you fall in love with certain guys. 2020 draft, they just brought in Tom Brady. You're building up the team. Great draft, Tristan Wirfs, Antoine Winfield, guys that have been paid at the top of their position. But there are guys that you fall in love with too. I know you wanted Antonio Gibson in the 3rd round. What do you do when your guy, and he got taken, I think, like 10 picks before we were on the clock, and ended up picking a running back. What happens when your guy gets taken off? How do you pivot personally?
I always get pissed. I walk out of the room, come back in with a couple of picks on our pick, and we've got 5 guys usually there every time that they've slotted that are going to be around that pick. You never draft for a need, but if above those 5 is a need, that trumps everything. And Jason Light and John Spytek, those guys do an unbelievable job. I did want Antonio because I thought he was the next David Johnson. And David was a unique guy because he played receiver before he was a running back. And you could do things out of the backfield with him and get great matchups. And I thought Antonio Gibson did the same thing at Memphis. Could get matchups on safeties and linebackers that would be uncoverable. So those guys are so hard to find. Washington took him, and I still love. I don't think Jason's missed a draft since I've been a part of it.
Yeah.
He's a great guy too.
Yeah.
And Devin White was no bust. Devin just.
Stephen Shea cried when you guys drafted Devin White.
Did not cry.
He was upset. He was
I
like, linebacker at 5? He cried. He literally cried.
But, I mean, credit to Jason and stuff. They pulled out the NFL's leading sacker off got him for $4 million, Shaq Barrett.
Shaq,
You mentioned door number 2 earlier with the 2020 free agent class. Operation Shoeless Joe Jackson was the pursuit of getting Tom Brady.
Whoa!
Wait, it had like a CIA name to it?
Oh yeah.
Did you have like dossiers and folders and
why
drop briefcases off in a park?
It was from Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come. If you build up the team, then Tom Brady's going to make the logical decision to come to a good team.
So how long did you have Operation Shoeless Joe Jackson in place? Like, did you make decisions a year before Tom Brady that we're going to build Tom Brady's dream team?
Oh no, we're building our own dream team, and we thought Jameis was the guy, and not ever thinking Tom would ever become a free agent. And if you think that year, I think Phillip Rivers was a free agent, Tom was a free agent, somebody else who
Teddy
had
Bridgewater.
Teddy, were all available, and it's like, Will we stick with Jameis? Yeah. Tom
Brady.
No.
Yeah.
And that was a hard decision, but Tom had done his homework. He knew as much about us as we knew about him, for sure.
Okay, so go ahead, keep going.
What was plan B? Like, if Tom didn't come, is there a world where Jameis gets LASIK and they run it back? Or?
Jameis was our guy, yeah. We knew we were going to make him better. We could improve on the 33 touchdowns easily, and we had to improve on the 30 interceptions. We can just cut them in half, especially the early ones. The defense, we were going to build the defense. We felt like we could win with him.
And did you get upset at all when you found out that he got LASIK after he left the team?
Good question.
No, but I loved his comment. He said, I didn't know Bruce was, I thought he was black.
SQ Smooth, right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's a good question. See if you got another one.
I got one final one.
Okay.
I don't know if you're the originator of it, but kind of the CEO coaching style where you're the coach, but you put a ton on your coordinators. Now we see a lot of very hot in the streets coordinators get hired, and sometimes they get a little bit underwater. What do you think the biggest mistake current owners are having and GMs in hiring coaches, and what the importance of that head guy is?
Yeah, I think if they're hiring a coordinator to be a coordinator, that's a mistake. You're not hiring the guy to be the head coach. Now, if he continues to be the coordinator, it's okay. Now, if he hasn't been the coordinator and you're hiring him to be the head coach and the coordinator, you're asking him to do two jobs he's never done. That's a lot. I don't see those guys being as successful. Yeah. I always called the plays until Byron was ready. Then I handed it all over to Byron. And I coming back to Tampa, coming back into coaching, the Glazer family wanted me to call the plays. I'm like, look, I got a guy. He's ready, more than ready. I'm gonna be right there next to him. We'll be good. And they went along with it, which was great. And it's just a crying shame Byron's not calling plays for somebody right now, because he's the best I've ever been around. And but at that time there were only 3 guys calling plays as head coaches. Andy's always done it. I always did it. John Gruden did it.
McVay might do it.
Sean's doing it.
Yeah.
Sean was kind of the young guy to start doing it, and Kyle does it. But that young group of guys is starting to do it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how you do it when you're trying to coach a whole football team and you also got to call the next play.
That was one of the things I'd gotten from Arizona, and this goes even back to Temple. John Devlin, he's my assistant head coach at Temple, and we're walking off the field, and he said, Coach, can we ever end practice where the defense wins? I went, what do you mean? He said, we practiced an extra half an hour today just till the offense won.
Yeah.
It's like every day. I was like, oh, shit, yeah, you're right. And I was a play caller, offensive coordinator, head coach, and we weren't leaving the field till the offense won. And part of that went on in Arizona a little bit, and I'm like catching myself. And I had Tom Moore and Tom Pratt on my staff. Tom Moore, great book out right now, one of the best reads I've ever had. And Tom Pratt coached in Super Bowl I. He coached Buck Buchanan and Curly Culp. Every night they would come up to the suite. We'd have cocktails and go over what they thought, what they saw, how they felt we were doing, and I leaned on them.
Yeah.
And I had learned that word delegate, which was really hard. I was 30 years old at Temple as a head coach. I did everything. And I went in the hospital like 3 times a week by the 5th year.
Yeah.
And it's like I never learned how to delegate.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And when Chuck got sick, didn't have time to do anything but just do your damn job, guys. I'll decide if we go for it on 4th down, and I'll give a shitty speech on Saturday night.
Yeah.
That's it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. If you delegate to the right people.
Yeah, and then everybody did their job.
Right.
And everybody had their hand in it, and it was like, Chuck's the head coach. Nusk, you do your thing, and we win 11 games with that team.
Yeah, I got 2 last questions for you, Coach, and appreciate it. This has been awesome to talk to you again. First of all, the first time we spoke, it was right as your book came out, and the story about you drinking paint as a child to make your bones stronger.
Made a song.
Had just come out. We made a song about it. It was called Drink Paint. Yeah. Have you ever gotten the urge? Have you ever walked down like the aisle in Sherwin-Williams or Home Depot and took a look at some of maybe the light green mint chocolate chip colored paint?
That was one of the ones I had.
Yeah, it's a delicious looking color of paint. and looked at it and thought to yourself, maybe I'll just what harm could one more sip do?
No, I think part of this thing up here is that lead that was in that paint.
Yeah, got you a little crazy.
that no risk it, no biscuit stuff. It might have came from that paint. You know,
You
because it was high. It was high lead, baby.
You push the limits of no risk it, no biscuit when you're drinking paint.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, since you've coached so many great quarterbacks over the years, if you were to take break them down by like brain, heart, guts, arms, legs, how would you build the ultimate like Frankenstein Bruce Arians quarterback?
Yeah, very fortunate with obviously Peyton and Tom and Ben, Carson, Andrew, Timmy Couch, Kelly Holcomb, the guys that I've had. If I was going to build all of them into one
guy, yeah,
it'd be Andrew Luck.
Oh, so it's just all Andrew Luck.
Yeah, because he had everything that they all had. You know, he had a photographic memory. His athletic stuff was off the charts, same as Cam Newton's. His recall was like Ben and Tom. His preparation was like Ben and Tom. Ben, Tom, and Peyton. If there was one guy in a big game, I'm taking Ben, because I've been in the big game with Ben. You know, I never had a chance to get into the big game with Andrew. But yeah, they're all great. I mean, now they're all pissed because I didn't pick one of them.
I like your answer though. That was an ultimate like zigzag saying it's just Andrew Luck. He was that good at everything.
Yeah,
he was amazing. But he took maybe the worst roster I've ever seen and won 11 games.
Yeah,
and 7 of them in the last 2 minutes.
Damn. Yeah. All right. Well, Coach, I have one last question. Rowback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. 20% off your first purchase. Q-zips, polos, hoodies, joggers, shorts. Great golf gear. And that's my last question. How is the golf game? What's the handicap?
I'm back to a 6.
Oh.
And
damn.
Yeah, I've shot my age 3 times now.
Okay.
And actually shot it 72 the day before my birthday, but I'm counting it.
Yep.
Yeah. You know, I asked somebody, I had an old doctor friend of mine, I said, hey, does this, whenever your mother was pregnant, it counts all the way back to then. So I shot 71 twice and 72 once now.
Oh, wow.
So
that's pretty good.
That's crazy. So you're doing everything out there. You got to be able to drive. You got to be able to have a nice approach game and good putting.
I mean, when I tore my Achilles that last year coaching, it ruined my golf game. I mean, I couldn't hit it 160 yards, and I almost quit. And then it's like I never had it fixed because it's non-fixable. And it's like, oh, either trust it or quit playing. So I started pushing off of it and started playing and hitting it a lot further. And this year I found a little more speed somehow. So I'm hitting my driver pretty solid.
Wait, so you still have a torn Achilles?
Yeah, I've got like 6% strand.
Oh, my God.
I didn't know that was possible. You said that they couldn't fix it?
No, it had to be a cadaver. Mine's rotten.
Wait, so does it hurt?
It'll get a sore every now and then, but no, if I go down steps, I can't catch myself. But
yeah,
that's gritty as fuck.
Shit.
But you're just walking around.
That whole season, I was in these orthotic high heels after like game 5. I actually tore it running in the pool.
Oh,
I never felt anything. It just swelled up, and I think it was a burn spur that cut it up. But they said it's so bad they'd have to do a cadaver. I said, that's 8 months in a boot. I said, you don't know my wife. She ain't driving me for 8 months.
Yeah.
You know her.
Yeah.
That ain't happening, bro.
Yeah, that's not happening. Well, that's an incredible golf game and very gritty. Torn Achilles, just going around. Well, Coach, thank you as always. Always great to have you come around.
Thank you guys, bro.
You're the best. And, yeah, good luck on the rest of the fall golf season.
You got it.
Welcome back to another Fyre Fest of the Week, brought to you by our friends at Morgan & Morgan. You know what really sucks? Not having a great Halloween costume. You know what else really sucks? Getting injured. But you know what doesn't suck? Calling Morgan & Morgan so they can help you get what you deserve. Well, they can't help Hank be able to dunk. Well, they can't help Max stop getting invited to so many weddings. They can help to get you full and fair compensation when you're injured. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law #529 from your cell phone. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/PMT or dial #law #529 from your cell phone.
Okay, let's wrap up Fyre Fest of the Week. I'll start. I hate Mondays.
Yeah.
Get it?
I get it. You remember that one Garfield where John drank Odie's cum?
What?
Yeah. They went to like a vet, and John had Odie, and they had a nurse, and he was like, there was a cup of coffee that was like on the table, and he drank a sip of it, and he's like, "Don't mind if I do." And the nurse was like,
That's
"Sir,
Garfield's cum.
that's
That's cat cum.
That's Odie's cum
or dog's cum.
It was dog cum. Yeah,
dog cum. By the way, for the people who are listening to the podcast, not watching the podcast, we are all dressed in our Halloween costumes. So that's why I started with I Hate Mondays. I'm dressed as Garfield. You are Miley Cyrus?
I'm Miley Cyrus.
Hank, you are
Shaggy Doo.
Shaggy Doo. We got Marty McFly. We got Mario. We got, what are you, Max?
I would be Frank Cushman from the film Jerry Maguire, the lead of that movie, actually.
Oh, the lead?
The lead.
The
I thought the lead was Tom Cruise.
No, that would be Jerry O'Connell, actually.
Oh.
This role.
Okay.
From Kangaroo
Yep.
Jack.
From Kangaroo Jack.
Oh,
correct.
he's the guy that used to be an actor.
Yes.
Okay.
Used to be. Correct. But he's the lead in this movie, and I am Frank Cushman.
Got it. Bing bong. And then Memes. Memes is a Stay Puff guy. Stay Puff Man?
I don't think Memes can
Or
hear
he's the
right
Michelin
now.
Man.
He's
Stay Puffed. I can't see all the way back there.
Yeah, I'm the thing from Ghostbusters, and I can't see fucking shit.
All right, Fyre Fest, Hank.
My Fyre Fest is I am addicted to TikTok Shop.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't realize the rabbit hole that you could go down, and obviously the algorithm that it feeds you once you get something. But I saw after, like, I finally did the purge of all my clothes, and I got rid of probably 70%. And so I've been in the process of buying new stuff, and I saw some sweatpants. They were like 10 cents.
What?
You bought 10-cent sweatpants?
You can buy 10-cent sweatpants on TikTok?
They were
Shop?
legitimately like $1, so I ordered like 5 pairs.
Are they good?
They're
No,
not that
they
bad.
got to be trash.
They're not that bad.
You get what you pay for, Hank.
Yeah, I would prefer to spend way more than 10.
Me too. I saw the sweatpants. I was like, oh, these are nice. I
sweatpants-
look into them, and then I clicked into it. It was like, they're so cheap that I had no choice but to at least see.
That's crazy.
What's different about these sweatpants?
No, they're pretty normal sweatpants. Like they don't, like obviously they're super cheap. It's not the highest quality, but they're pretty solid.
So yeah, the whole marketing is like these are the cheapest sweatpants you can possibly buy.
So cheap that you're basically like, why? It's only $10, so why not?
Yeah, what's the catch?
That's the
what
catch.
that's the catch.
That's the catch. They're gonna suck.
And now they just feed. Like now I'm just getting.
Oh, I have
fed.
that on Instagram. I get fed every single like thing I've ever bought in a different variation and just keep rebuying it over and over. They're good. Hey, Zuckerberg, Elon, whoever the fuck, China, you're good. You're good.
Darius Rucker.
You're good.
You're
You
good.
got the algorithms down pat. You're good. Miley, what's your Fyre Fest of the week?
My Fyre Fest. I'm trying to make sure my nipples don't slip out so it doesn't mess up the YouTube. So quick.
Which one?
Which? Oh yeah,
Four.
I do have 4. I think these 2 at the bottom might be covered by the desk. I get just quick update on the card situation. From Wednesday.
The guy who's going to be cool.
The guy he's been cool about it so far. So there's been no more charges on my card since I
Okay.
told him, you be cool, I'll be cool about it. But I had a bunch of people online reach out to me yesterday and tell me that I may have accidentally given that guy permission and ruined any chance that I would have of recouping any fraudulent spending. Like their lawyers, if they heard that podcast, they would be like, well, technically this bank doesn't need to refund PFT because he gave permission.
No, that's not true. Those people, whoever hits you up is wrong because you specifically said be cool.
Yeah, I think
so. If he goes and buys a card, that's not cool.
Not cool. Not
right,
cool.
and that's against the law.
If you go out to a bar and you get like $50 worth of beers, that's cool.
Right.
You go to Hooters, very cool.
Cool.
Like you can do that. But the guy has not done anything not cool yet. So I think that it might have
Has he
worked.
done more?
No.
Okay.
It's been quiet, so I think it's probably going to be a big
Is there a
weekend.
chance you just ordered it Pizza Hut in Georgia?
In Georgia? I don't. It wouldn't be the
I mean,
weirdest
you order
thing given
from
my shopping.
Yeah, you
experience.
order from
Yeah.
everywhere.
I accidentally had Uber Eats delivered to an unknown apartment in Georgia. But I might have signed away my rights in terms of recouping any money that he spends if there's like a big purchase.
No, because that's not cool.
Is there a way that I can limit my credit card limit to $50 a day?
I don't know.
Because if I did that, then I would make sure that he was being cool with it.
Yeah, you would have a restriction on his
He'd be really cool. My other Fyre Fest of the week is just that the election's coming up and everybody's pissed off and everything sucks. and next Tuesday is going to suck, and then next Wednesday is definitely going to suck no matter who wins.
Yeah, and there's going to be just
everyone's gonna
weeks
be,
of suck.
Everyone's going to be shitty. It's probably going to suck for another couple months. Might suck for another 4 years, just in general, of people being pissed off about stuff.
I'm so ready for it to be over.
Yeah, me too.
Everyone's just on edge, and it's just like, just chill out, man.
All the commercials on TV.
Yeah.
Those suck. Everything sucks.
Give us back the commercials.
Everything. That's why I'm so very much looking forward to games like Falcons, Cowboys.
Yes.
Weekend. It's a brief window into not sucking.
Ohio State, Penn State, Hank. Going to be a good game. Max, do you have a prediction on that game?
I don't know. Big noon kickoff has ruined college football, though.
I don't like big noon
Such
kickoff. I
bullshit.
agree.
Why is that game at 11 a.m.?
You have to ease yourself into the day.
That it's too good of a game that early.
Agreed. They got to bring the whiteout energy. Why don't they just do a whiteout?
Imagine that at night.
Because they can't do it at night.
What do you mean?
Fox won't let them play at night.
No. Why don't they just do a whiteout during the day?
That doesn't work.
Why not? You never tried it. You've never tried it.
Can't do it.
Why?
Not with that attitude.
You don't think the white would pop?
You could do a stripe out. They do stripe outs too. Stripe outs aren't the same.
What's a stripe out? Is that each section?
Each section, one wears white, one wears blue. That's what Michigan was that last year.
I do the stripe out. That would be a good time to do it.
I do like college football Saturday around Halloween because it's just a lot of drunk kids just dressed up.
Yeah.
Like sad fans in Halloween costumes are the best.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a Fyre Fest. My Fyre Fest, I guess, is just that Halloween is one of my favorite holidays when you have little kids, but not really shocking. I told my son and daughter last night, I was like, hey, it's Halloween tomorrow. Let's try to stay in our rooms till mommy and daddy wake up.
But there's no such thing as Santa Claus for Halloween.
5:45. They're ready to get in their costumes.
You can't scare them with the Santa Claus will give you good toys.
Yeah, you can't even say I'm going to cancel Halloween because that's such a lie. Like Halloween is the best. So, but yeah, just watching my kids go to school and they're like, I dropped off my son. He was dressed as Mario. It's fucking best. He was so pumped to put on the Mario. He didn't want to put on the mustache because he didn't want the sticky tape to go out during the day. So we're saving it for trick or treating. But he was just so pumped.
Did you guys watch the movie? Or is that movie age kids appropriate?
Yeah, we watched the movie.
Is it good?
It is good. It is very good. We watched the movie a bunch. That's why we did it. And then I dressed as Bowser. We put on our Halloween costumes last night as a little, on Wednesday night as a little warm up. And I dressed as Bowser and chased him around. So I was chasing Mario, Toad, Princess Peach around. It's good. It's fun. What are you looking for?
I'm just trying to see if I'm wrong. I feel like your Garfield is way more yellow than it should be.
Yeah, you got a problem like Garfield.
I thought you were Bowser when you walked in.
Why are you such an issue with the Garfield?
No, it's not an issue. I was thinking.
I hate Mondays in Hank.
You're thinking of Heathcliff. He's the super orange cat.
Sound off in the comments. I could be wrong. I'm not hating.
You're looking at him.
You're like Pika Field.
What would you like him to be?
Oranger.
More orange. I'm licking my hands. Look at Kush. You, by the way, Max, I'm happy we all dressed up. Halloween's a fun holiday. Anyone who shits on Halloween's an idiot. But Jerry bodied you in the costume off. Like he did. He was Max 2 times. He was Phillies Max and Eagles Max.
He did.
You're just one of the coolest characters that he played. Although he wasn't that cool.
No.
Kush was kind of a dick.
But
are we surfing or are we skiing?
I like Kush.
You just look like a tour manager for Spinal Tap.
No, but I got a hat that says Team Cushman on it.
I do see that, yeah.
You see the hat?
When you were complaining about having to do arts and crafts, all you had to do was write Team Cushman.
I know. It was hard, though. The S's are so hard to do block letters.
Really?
Yes.
Just do the Power S.
I know. I thought about doing
do
the Power
Superman
S.
S.
Power S.
I
The Power
thought
S
about
rocks.
doing the Power S.
How is that a thing? Do we know who the first person was?
This booth looks
It's awesome.
Yeah,
I love the boys.
I mean,
love
Shane
the boys.
looks awesome. Pug, you look great.
Pug, can you do It's me, a Mario?
It's a me, Mario. Mario.
All right. Good show, boys. Hope everyone has a great weekend. And we'll see you on Monday. Oh, I thought we had an applause.
No,
applause
Memes
track
is
there for a
deflating
second.
himself.
Numbers.
Also, Max released the PMT documentary 2 days early.
We'll say it at the beginning of the show too. But yeah, the PMT documentary. There's gonna be 4 episodes. First one Friday, so check it out. And we're gonna have. I think it's first one is just us. The beginning of PMT.
Max, why'd you do that?
Second one, Kush.
I don't know. I fucked up.
Fucked up right in the middle of a World Series game.
People love the button.
Right in the middle of a World
They love the button
like
too
one
much.
of the best World Series games. So yeah, Friday or today, episode 1, episode 2 will be all BVT. Yeah. So that will be in a couple weeks. So we'll do a better job of promoting it because we are bad at that. Really bad. Okay, numbers. 3.
19.
5.
I got to give Memes 3 because I already said numbers. He
11.
I said it.
I knew. Whoa.
I said it.
Marty McFly. Shane is Marty McFly. It's the best costume here.
He looks cool.
What was the number Memes was guessing when I was guessing 3?
17.
Okay, great. 17.
3 for the third win.
I thought you guys lost.
Marty
No,
McFly?
I'm back.
Okay.
Everyone say their numbers again.
19.
5.
11.
17.
99 Mario. 21.
I can't see shit.
Oh!
56?
Oh, I thought that was 99.
56.
Sorry, Pug.
56.
Sorry, Mario.